really sad is I fully support the original version of this game where there's no combat, very Disco Elysium, like puzzle interaction, dialogue stuff, and the version we have, which is the power fantasy, you're a super powerful vampire version. Both of those games have a place in existing. It's just this is neither of them, right? Like that's sort of the problem. It's not the premise that's the problem, it's the execution. Anyways. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We really don't have power nor fantasy. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, as I said yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and double down on this at this point. Although, according to Madman Robbie, it's actually going to get better soon. We'll see. It is a shame this is not better or worse. Either of those would be an acceptable outcome.
There was that same scent of concrete Pockets had talked about.
Yeah, I think that while this game might eventually be received slightly better, if it was something other than Bloodlines 2, I'll also guarantee you that it would have gotten less attention and, frankly, less sales, if that was true. Put another way, I don't think that's, like, the easy fix, right? It's also an argument I hear a lot, where, such and such would be a perfectly good game if not for the fact that it was considered part of this franchise. And while there is absolutely some validity to that overall, that doesn't factor into, like, a review, right? And if I could just go ahead and give my opinion, I don't think this is a good game, regardless of the fact that it has Bloodlines in the name, What's going on with chat? Oh, that was strange.
Huh. Guess someone was using gas to keep the lights on. The place reeked, and it reeked of ghoul. A ghoul who didn't have access to a shower.
Aww. Look. Not the woman. Ignore the woman. Hang in there. Yeah, it's the FF13 problem. FF13 might have been better received if it wasn't called Final Fantasy. But I don't think that would do anything to the game. I don't think it would improve the game.
So our stalker had a picture of Verona. Maybe that'd get Silky to open up.
Really? That's okay.
I went down to the Dutchman for a word with Silky.
Wait.
I headed down to the old Western Record.
Apparently I'm not done here. Okay. So, I did a little looking on that Sub-Zero. You get made sheriff no matter what your choice is, which is some interesting railroading. Because I actually agree that if there was a legitimate branch there, where you end up siding with the Camarilla or the Anarchs, they could have done something with that, right? Now, they didn't. And near as I can tell, there is no functional branching in this game. But that would have been the moment. Like, there wouldn't have been a huge branch, but it would have been literally something, right? Two playthroughs, two styles of play in order to get through the game. Sure, I'm kind of with that idea. We just didn't get that. Thank you, Hesplo, very, very much. Yeah, we talk a few times about how some games feel like we're just getting the notes instead of the script. A lot of the gameplay feels like it falls into that same category. Okay, so at this point, the player needs to find this clue. And so we do, and then, like, nothing it either doesn't acknowledge it, or it acknowledges it again. Again. Or sometimes we'll find it again. It's like, wait, there's this thing that we already knew. I can't believe it. Just people were not actually cohesing, right? Hesplo, I don't know if you know this, but you could put that towards up to 3 future streams in order to increase interest in them. It's kind of a thank you thing. But either way, I appreciate you. Thank you. Probably shouldn't say this so quietly. How's the game? The score on the screen is, I normally say it's up to date, but actually it's a little bit behind. I was going to spend some time updating it, but then instead I spent time playing with my niece. I don't really feel that bad about that choice. Oh, right, I have to do this.
I thought about it, but I didn't see the need.
Why can't I cast the requisite spell?
People like me are not supposed to fool around with gadgetry like you, but let's say we get to know each other a little. Just in the interest of detecting, of course.
I am rugged of manufacture, but have had a tough life, detective. Be gentle with me.
I see you're low on juice. I'll be careful.
I can put it toward Metro Prime 4, but remember, you could get to pick 3 things, and they all get $40 of interest put towards them. So I'll put one of those towards Metroid Prime 4.
Any pictures you want to show me?
What are you suggesting, detective?
Well, I don't know. Snaps taken by a miscreant?
All I have is a blurry image of a thumb. The wrong button was selected, perhaps?
Significant thumb?
It does still seem to be attached to a hand.
Given there's a national average of a bit less than 2, that does not narrow it down.
That's actually extremely funny since you say that, Sub-Zero, because the score on the screen does update when I update the document. In fact, fixing that script last week was a major hassle. The reason I say I was supposed to update the document was because the document needs updating. Several of these need to be fleshed out into multiple negatives, and I just haven't sat down and done that.
How about emails? Anything in the email box?
You are not very confident on accessing my email box, are you, detective? It is the picture most like an envelope. Just to the left is a little snake.
Just tell me, please. I'm not made of fingers.
When you finally get there, one message in all capital letters for a special purchase to improve the life of a male. That is all.
Ooh, a natty coat? Maybe a new hat?
Something like that.
Yeah, I have no opinion of Dick Cheney. He's not as bad as Kissinger, and that's about the nicest thing I could say about that.
Any text messages? That's what they're called, right? Or is it SMSs?
Once you have fumbled your way through the menus, there is one smez that has failed to send. It says pizza.
Pizza?
No, very definitely pizza. It is always possible that my owner is slightly less tech-savvy than you.
He does eat, though, so that tells us he's unlikely to be kindred. Anyone left a voicemail?
Since you ask, yes. There is one young lady offering a good time.
What sort of good time? I've always been partial to 3 minutes past 12. If midnight's been and gone, drama is just not gonna happen.
Haha, leaving that aside, detectives, there is one other message. I think you should listen to it.
Go ahead.
Open the package. You will see a photograph and a letter. Find the girl in the photograph. Make sure she receives the letter. She must not see you. Do you understand me, David? She must not see you. Now delete this message.
Guess David is a rebel.
Detective, I feel...
You all right there, fella?
Oh, hold me, detective.
Oh, dead. Oh, well. Nice work, little buddy. Maybe I should bury you somewhere.
I think it was always supposed to be Arnie, TSB. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the same actor. Because what's happening here, so for those of you who didn't catch this, we are playing a Malkavian. And our particular or I actually forget the official term for it, but our thing for being a Malkavian is that when we interact with something, we cast a spell on it, which I forget what it's called, and that give our Bane. Yeah, that's right, it's our Bane, and we give it a personality, which we then interact with, and it's just a manifestation of his own perception, because as a Malkavian, and clearly with his stats, he is extremely perceptive. So he can see this kind of stuff, and he can divine it, but because he's a Malkavian, he has to do it through his own little shattered perspective. So the way he interprets all the information that he's gleaning from something is that he literally gives it a voice, and then the actor they have playing Fabian voices the object. So yeah, that's literally him doing the accent internally. Now, we're not sure if he's saying this stuff out loud or if it's all in his head. Both are possible.
Is that the light of hope in your eyes, Detective? You got something for me, right?
It's been a long night, and I've worn down the shoe leather. My feet took me to the haven of a ghoul. And said ghoul had a photograph of my Verona. He was charged with delivering a death threat to her by his master. Here, take a look-see.
A ghoul now. I wonder whose blood he was sipping. But you're right. This is our kind of trouble. The girl here, I have seen. She was in here last night. Said drinks were on her. That she'd come into money. She decided to make a life change and pawned something that was chaining her down.
Pawned?
Left a ticket stub as a tip. Worthless to me, but maybe useful to you?
Well now, that is what we call in the trade a lead. My thanks, Socrates.
A pawn ticket. I figured I should follow that lead to a pawn shop. Bracing Verona about it directly was less likely to get results.
Before the open world might as well not even exist. I don't mean that as an unkindness, I mean that as a statement of fact. There are exactly two things the open world does. One is you could get the random blood in order to increase your four whatevers in order to gain access to skills, and the other is grabbing the collectibles, which you can actually see in the upper right of the screen up there. That's it. If this was literally zones that we just teleported between, nothing would really be lost here.
I have a question.
As I have already theorized, it's very strange because a fairly large amount of work and effort was clearly done on this, right? Like I was complaining earlier about generic brickwork. This is not it, right? Someone sat down and made this mermaid neon sign or whatever, and then set up the lighting in there, put the closed sign up, designed those posters, put up the lighting array up there, put that up on the building, made sure the building had the right brickwork on it, made sure the building had the right scaffolding on it, put another little mermaid thing over there, put it right next to Leon Banking, which is closed, of course. There's an ATM sign right there. And I could just keep going. There's clearly a lot of work, which I have given positives for, it's worth noting, for like this. It's small, but there's actually a decent amount of detail. It's not like Yakuza levels. It's still surprisingly good. And it's empty. There's nothing here. I think, because of how production works, and because of how people, because of how this things, I think that most of this stuff was made by the original game. The one that was in development for a minimum of 3 years, from what we understand. That was the first attack, does it say Dally Fresh? The one that was in development by Hardsuit, the first developers, right? That's what I think. Now, it's worth noting I could be extremely wrong, because there's another possibility, and Act just hinted at it. It is entirely possible that this was actually done by the Chinese Room developers, because we know that the Chinese Room spent a huge amount of time not developing this game, but it is entirely possible that there was 1 or 2 people who were just in the office every day designing this city. Just building the map out, right? Fleshing it out, adding NPCs, adding interactions, adding lighting, adding textures, and just designing the cityscape while nothing else was happening. No quests, no triggers, no interactions, no scripting, no nothing. This is something I've seen some developers do on purpose. It's risky because you have an automatic disconnect. Usually you want to design the world with the quest designers and with the narrative designers, so you can dovetail the two. So you can do things like visual storytelling, or you can do things like quest flow or overworld design.
I don't have the courage to tell her how I really feel.
Sometimes it works out. It is still something, from a managerial perspective, I would not recommend that approach, but it can work out. Like, someone sat down, lined up all of these arcade machines on the wall. I was like, okay, this is the electronic aisle, so we've got some TVs and some speakers. We've got some stickers on the TVs. We've got some cameras over here. We got the stupid.
I always wanted to be that
girls.
guy. You know, the one who wore a wire and brought down the criminal mastermind.
And then over here we've got records, vinyls, and vinyl players. In this direction we've got a bunch of like bike parts. There's some what do you call those? The flashlight things. Like, someone sat down and said, this is a pawn shop, and then spent a few weeks just making a pawn shop. There is real effort being put into this place, and it's such a shame.
This little guy reminded me that I'd met a lot of suckers in my time.
Yeah, it's not Deathloop. That's actually a great comparison. This is not Deathloop in terms of visual design.
I remember when these were all the rage. Then when they were junk. Then when they were all the rage again. Mortals are fickle.
I never ate fish in Seattle, even when I was alive. It was something in the way those cold, dead eyes stared right into you. Soulful.
Oh man, Mafia 2 is an excellent example of that, Jelix Brown. I know what you're talking about, because I've actually played Mafia 2. It's the only Mafia game I've played. And yeah, the open world is wildly detailed for not being there. Anybody in chat, or on the YouTube bot, who's played Mafia 2, how many of you created your own fun by just driving around and treating that like a challenge, right? Obeying the law, following the street lights, following the stop signs, just driving through town because there's no actual gameplay to the open world in Mafia 2. So we just kind of invented our own gameplay for it.
I mourn the old clackety-clack. Computers are all very well. But since they were invented, there's been a lot more profanity in the world.
Debatable.
They said a cat may look at a king, but when it came to princes, I wouldn't advise it. You could go through 9 lives in surprisingly quick order.
Yeah, I think Sophia and I gave up on crosswords back in the early 40s. Too predictable. Not enough spark.
Everything? Yeah, okay.
Nico helped me find knickknacks for my office. Knickknacks with history.
Friend Fabian, what brings you to my door? I've had nothing coming to your taste. Just rings of old marriages, necklaces of old mistresses, junk, you know how it is. Discarded memories.
I'm looking for a memory. Came in last night?
Everyone here trades memories for dollars, you know that. What was it? Or who?
It netted her enough to have a night out. Paid her bar tab. Here, I have a ticket. You know this one?
Ah, yes, that one. She was burdened on the way in and floated her way out.
Here.
Ah, that's right. A locket. One moment.
Progress. I don't know what prompted Miss Verona to sell, but this might give me answers.
Miss Verona? That was not the name she gave me. Ravenna, if I have it right.
Now, what is she playing at?
I hope in some way the item brings you joy. Even if it's the joy of detection, huh?
Fabian was turned somewhere in the 20s. The fire was still in torpor when Fabian was turned.
Did she say why she pawned the locket?
Oh, you learn not to ask such things. There is usually sadness or anger down those roads, and to be honest, I did not want to share in hers.
How's business?
The festive season approaches. At this time, I receive old gifts so my clients can buy new ones. Renting a moment of happiness. This year, more deposits than purchases. An air of desperation.
I'm off. Keep any interesting prizes for me.
If I find something I think you like, I'll be in touch.
Wait, did I not say that, Loner? What did I say? I lost my marbles. Was I reading while talking again?
I wondered if a...
20s. Did it cut me off? He was turned in his 20s. Or in the 20s. Ah, now you got me saying it. The roaring 20s. That's why I say she was already in torpor when he turned. Because she was put in torpor somewhere around the 20s. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old he was when he was turned. We haven't even seen him, really. I mean, we've seen his corpse.
You found something, right?
I'm looking into avenues, Miss Verona. Avenues and alleyways. I found this locket of yours at a pawn shop. Sold to the broker under a false name.
Oh, that's not mine.
I'm trying to catch a killer here. Bear it in mind and throw me a bone.
So do you think the threat is real?
I have no doubt. This killer is real and could strike at any moment. Granted, it's a mite less likely here in PDHQ, though it is still a possibility. But hey, we won't charge you rent.
If it's real, well, I guess I need to tell you. The locket isn't mine. It belongs to my sister. My ex-sister, Ravenna. Check the photo inside. That's me and her. She, used to be my twinnie. But she's dead to me. You gotta understand that.
She passed away.
Oh no, we just don't get on. She's gone kind of weird. How's the locket fit in? Does that mean she's in danger?
Everything is connected, miss. It's simply a matter of degree. Try asking Mr. Bacon sometime. If you don't know him, someone will. So, where can I find this twinnie, this Ravenna?
Heck, I don't know. We haven't talked in half a year. Last I heard, she was working at Atrium. That's why I never go there.
I see. Maybe your messenger didn't have a name for his intended recipient. Only a photograph, and a poor one at that. If only you'd told me of your sister's existence. My night would have been simpler, and the city wouldn't have to pay out for so much shoe leather. I believe you've simply been the victim of a failure in postal delivery, Miss Verona, as so often happens. The case is solved. Your sister is the one in peril. Hopefully I can make it to the atrium before it's too late. As soon as I...
Hi, Elizar. So for anybody who didn't see it earlier, I'm going to show you something. Something horrifying. Behold! Engage with it, Dark Day. Look upon it and know the despair of animation. Good night, Dark Day. How am I enjoying the game? I mean, it's not nearly as painful as half the other Alpha games I've been. What's the issue here, Reggie? I can do this too. No, I actually double checked too. Played 12. There aren't any. There's a bunch of cosmetic mods and not much else of substance.
Hey, I need to get in here. Official business?
Private party. No exceptions. If you're not on the list, my hands are tied.
Tell Miss Moore it's me.
No.
You sound like a guy who got decaf instead of a double shot.
Lovely to see you again, sir. Long session today.
I got the whole album in the can, actually. No bust-ups, no dramas, just laying down some real smooth licks, you know?
I didn't realize you played... Oh. I'm sorry, sir. I've made a mistake. I don't believe you're on our list for tonight.
Ah. Well...
Oh my god. Okay, next.
Lovely to...
Same old. These things are always a grind.
So I hear, sir. But it's important work. I'd like you to know that I appreciate it, and you can always rely on my support.
Thank you, citizen. Always good to know the public are behind me. Might I go in?
Of course. Enjoy your evening, Senator.
Oh, I intend to.
The artist in residence was in residence, and she never liked me being anywhere near the residence.
Detective, it is fascinating to see you here, particularly as this is a private event, and I know you weren't on the list.
Do you know Ravenna? I think she's one of your, followers.
I have so many followers. Over 2 million when I last checked.
I just want to find Ravenna. Where it is she works here, and often gets drunk, if you know what I mean.
If I knew such a girl, what she got up to in Atrium would be up to her, and not me.
Can I go look for her?
I'm not going for a law enforcement vibe tonight. I can't have you wandering through and breaking the immersion.
There is a killer on the loose, Miss Moore. I want to make sure the young lady is safe. Her sister, her twin, she's worried sick. Just need to check in with her.
A twin? I see. A matched pair, perhaps.
I guess I could introduce you. You know, so long as I know Ravenna's doing okay.
Oh, very well. She should be upstairs in the VIP area doing her job. Do not upset my guests.
Oh, I never aim to be an upset, Miss Moore.
No, you never do.
I love these animations. Straight up the Shepherd Shuffle. God, the flail in VTMB 1. Sorry, Bloodlines 1.
across. Color me unsurprised.
I take it you're Ravenna, Miss Verona's sister.
So it seems, don't it, Detective? Same bone structure. Though it would be easier to tell if I still had a head.
Just so you know, I've imagined you with a head, because it makes conversing a lot easier. Let's see now. You died in the same way, right? Rebar in the heart and a bad case of neck trouble.
Sure, Detective. Just like the others. A death for a kindred. But I wasn't kindred.
Now, that's something. This is a message to my kind, not yours. Any other marks or wounds on you?
From the neck down, nothing crying out for attention, saving the hole in my chest. The head you gotta take on faith. But no other obvious marks. The most common wounds on someone like me are closed with a lick.
That's true. Not the healthiest of pastimes, as I guess you found out. You're still warm, and the blood isn't even congealed.
Yeah, you must have missed me only by a moment or two. Sorry, I had places to be.
This guy is quiet, strong, and scentless.
Isn't he, though?
And he doesn't stay for the torturing and the screaming. He's in and out, set dressing the space.
It's real theatrical, ain't it? But next time, could he maybe use stage blood instead?
Killed right here on the spot, I think.
It does look like it, from my blood and my body temperature. Such a shame. Used to think I was hot, but now, cooling rapidly.
So who were you really, Ravenna? Other than Verona's twin? And why did anyone want to kill you?
Look at me, Detective. I'm mortal, sure. But I'm blood doll, you know? They called me Isabella's plaything. See the pattern yet? Me and Pandora, mortals who are tied to vampires. A message from a hunter.
Maybe so. But why isn't he targeting the Kindred direct? And how is he here now, 100 years after his first kills?
I don't know. But you'll catch it for me, won't you?
Well, I'll try, although it won't improve your day.
Shit happens to us all. My sister will be happy, at least.
Please do, Detective. My sister will be happy, at least. Detective, are you quite well?
Sorry, Miss Emerson. I lost my thread there. What was that about your sister?
Let me give you some advice, fledgling. You are young, and you must learn. There are 2 princes in this city, and you will give them both deference. For your sire's sake, and to ensure your own survival. Do you understand me?
I'm sorry, my prince. It won't happen again.
Sometimes I wonder what Gideon saw in you. Then I have a conversation like this and realize how similar you are. I said my sister would be happy as she wished to speak to you.
What's this? Am I this evening's topic for discussion?
Not at all, dearest. Merely discussing etiquette.
Not about me? Oh, well, that's time wasted. But it's so good to see you, Detective. I hope you are here to enjoy yourself and not on an official investigation. A broken vase, a stolen innocence, a bloodless corpse.
Good evening, my other prince.
Oh, dear Detective, you are a sparkling tonic in an evening of toadies. I have something to discuss with you as it happens, but please, do circulate first. Business can wait. After all, this is a celebration. I will see you both later. Oh, and sister, I want to talk to you about the Carstairs matter. Will you have time this evening? Tomorrow?
I haven't forgotten. Tomorrow would be better.
Very good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have egos to massage, including my own.
What are we celebrating again?
Really, I am starting to wonder why Malkavians are permitted at our court. It is New Year, and a gathering at this time is considered traditional.
Of course. Surprised you still celebrate, though, given how many you've seen.
We like to keep up with the times.
So, might I ask about the Carstairs matter Miss Graham mentioned?
A joint enterprise which my sister and I are considering. Nothing that should concern you. It is always wise to plan for the long term.
Well, I suppose in your case, the very, very long term.
Indeed.
So, you two are sisters, but very different sisters.
Sisters in blood, Detective. Not sisters in mortal terms. Has your sire told you nothing?
Gideon is not the most direct of teachers. He likes me to pursue my own inquiries.
You are on thin ice, Malkavian. As is your sire.
Might I ask how you became prince? Or should I say, one of two princes?
You can ask. It is a simple matter. The attack on our dear sire all those years ago left us leaderless. Lou and I thought it best to combine our talents.
Not a very kindred thing, right? The lust for power being what it is.
I am never certain whether you're being sarcastic or direct.
Oh, direct. Definitely direct.
Lou Graham is adroit in certain spheres. I'd like to think my influence is in others. We complement each other well. Our partnership has seen this city successful through 30 years and more.
You don't like my sire?
Gideon has his uses. You are yet to prove yours.
Well, if there's a crime committed, I'm your man. To solve it, I mean. Not to cause it.
The sheriff has a modicum of faith in you. I honestly can't think why. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have had enough of your fumbling tongue.
Of course.
I wish a good evening to you, Detective. If, of course, you survive it.
Mistress Graham had told me to circulate, so I guessed I should circulate.
Evening. You're Isaac, right? Pleasant night.
Oh, am I in your place? My apologies, please. Pardon me.
No, not at all. It was you I wanted to talk to.
Why?
I don't think we've ever met, though I've heard of you.
I know who you are. The detective. Malkavian bloodlines sired by Gideon Hall. A dog who will never let go of a bone. They call you only Fabian, but your full name is...
Whoa there! Let a man keep a little of his mystique, don't you?
Very well. You are Fabian, and I am Isaac.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm surprised to see you here. I heard you don't get out much.
Yes.
You don't strike me as the type of fella who lives it up at the weekend. You enjoy these parties?
No.
Might I ask what brings you here?
The princes asked me to come, so I came. I am their secret keeper. I observe, I learn, I research, I remember. They find it useful to have me on hand. Kindred of my clan are not well suited to such events, but I will step into the light when requested.
I get it. No one wants to outshine the hosts.
Indeed.
I gotta say, I do find the Nosferatu an interesting riddle. Would you be open to a sit-down some other time so I can pick your brains? I'd like to learn more about your folk, about your role in the Camarilla. I hope that ain't too forward.
Is it forward? I do not know. But I would enjoy sharing knowledge, so long as it is reciprocated.
It seems both our princes are in a fine mood tonight.
Yes, they are in good spirits. Some believe it impossible for two kindred to rule one domain. Indeed, I have found precious few instances of it being attempted before. It is assumed they will destroy each other in a bid to claim full power, but our princes seem to be the exception. They have not had a serious disagreement since March 2nd. It was a dinner party. Lou suggested I be forced to sire the beautiful wife of a politician who didn't laugh at her joke. Rosalind thought it crass.
Jesus.
So what do you think of our princes? Just between you and me.
They benefit each other in ways outsiders can't always see. Without both of them, Seattle would be in turmoil. Some find Rosalind cold and distant, but I think she is misunderstood. Not everyone enjoys being the center of attention.
I must fraternize with my adoring fans.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Lou and Rosalind have a historical record of an elder known as the Nomad. Sorry, I've had people mowing the lawn quite literally right outside my window, Eleazar, so I've been muted for a while now. Favorite Disney villain? Anybody in chat want to answer that, or anybody on YouTube want to answer that as well? Favorite Disney villain? So, my knee-jerk answer is the big three. Jafar, Scar, and Ursula. All three of those are just fun, interesting, engaging, well-acted, well-animated. They're fantastic, right? If you put a gun to my head, I would probably lean towards Ursula of those three. Like, there's... Bob Iger. No. Like, villains we actually like. Noctis. Not the worst. I'm trying to think how to put this into words. I don't think they would make a villain like Ursula now. Put it that way.
Sheriff, good to see you. Enjoying the party?
Yeah, having a whale of a time. You just missed me doing the Charleston. Listen up. Court soirees ain't about cake and cookies. Everyone has a role to play. A foothold to gain or a score to settle. But you and me, it's our job to stop trouble before it happens. No one's above that, no matter who they are. Got it? So, do a few rounds, bump gums, get to know him a little better. Forewarned is forearmed. You never know who you'll face tomorrow.
Anything I should know?
Yeah, I got something. The cigarette girl killer. Knew the whole Cross and Rebar thing was familiar. Now don't go spreading this around. We don't want to start a panic. But doesn't this sound to you like the work of Santiago?
Who?
Ah, come on, Fabian. He hit the mortal front pages down in Frisco. Serial killer? Or hunter, depending on where you stand? Ask Isaac, the Nosferatu. He'll fill you in.
Who are these people? What are their lines? Who should I suck up to? Who should I avoid? What makes them all tick?
Hey, bloodsuckers are bloodsuckers. But we all share a secret, so we stick together. Lou calls it a family. The sisters and all their messed up cousins. And it's a family business. The court runs on money as much as blood. Mortals will pay a pretty penny for any vice, and more if it's outlawed. Fletcher runs the booze. Under Lou's wing, he's got free reign. Your old man Gideon handles the gambling. And Lou herself's been the Madam of Seattle for decades. Rosalind's the schemer. She's got Isaac, who has an ear in every alleyway. And she took in the Tremere girl to keep one foot in the arcane and one in the latest science. And you just make sure it all goes off without mortals catching on. Both the princes thought Gideon had it right, getting someone in the PD.
So, another year, huh?
What do I care? What am I gonna do, huh? Find a pretty dame to kiss at midnight? Make a resolution to drink less and go to church? Counting off the years when you're immortal. What's the point? It's just a number.
See you around.
Sure.
Frollo's fine. He is, in fact, a good villain. But he's just nowhere near as enjoyable as the three examples I just...
While I did enjoy a party,
Cave.
one for drinking in company. No more than with one other tasty guest, at any rate.
Are they alive? Were they alive? Yeah, I've referred to Furlough as a very diseased man before, and I stand by that. I'm not going to try and bore you with the historical significance of Little Mermaid, Uthor. I still think it's a decent film. I don't want to overpraise it, but they do a decent amount right in that film. Like, whether you like the music or not, the way they use the music is mathematically correct. I don't know how better to put that. Little Mermaid follows the correct. I actually talked about the Mermaid, but it follows the correct rules of musical construction. Each song is designed to be a specific and significant piece in the story. It is a part of the story, and each one then moves the plot a little bit forward. And they're accurately spaced, as opposed to being too much, or too dense, or too few. I know you don't care for that kind of thing, but like, in terms of construction, Little Mermaid is actually a very well-constructed film. Now, it has several severe issues, not the least of which being most of its characters are caricatures. It is telling that the most well-fleshed-out character in the film is the villain, Ursula. Like, that's I don't know what to add to that. Although, I guess that's true in a lot of Disney flicks, isn't it? Where the villain gets the most character. Like, who has more characterization? Belle or Gaston? Like, really think about it for a second. She's rebellious, smart, and likes to read, and and she's pretty. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, Lion King is another good example. Like, Scar is pretty memorable and fairly well characterized. The youngest was at my door, and I was pretty sure I heard her, and I was right, obviously. So, I go to see her, and she's sitting there, and she has, like, a winter hat on, like a yarn wool hat, and really big, oversized sunglasses. Shirkan's fine, I guess. He's not a very interesting villain. The only thing that makes him interesting is his voice actor.
Well, well, if it isn't our very own investigator. I suppose they'd call you a dick, but you're hardly private. Am I right?
The king of swank himself. How's the upper crust?
Oh, now, let's not talk of kings among princes. I hope you haven't eaten. There'll be some rather keen party favors along shortly. Excellent vintage.
I hear it's mighty uncommon to have co-princes like this. Having never lived elsewhere, I wouldn't know.
Almost unheard of. Power sharing is an art, but they seem as thick as thieves, and they do manage it. Some speculate a blood bond, but I don't give credence to idle gossip.
A blood bond? I don't think I know that.
Oh, ask the little book girl about it. Her clan are the ones for that kind of malarkey.
This is quite the shindig. Very intimate.
Our royals wanted to keep the guest list exclusive. The deserving and the delicious, as it were. Of course, sometimes we have to make exceptions. Soothsayers, sorcerers, and sleuths. They're useful, to be sure, but they lower the tone. Don't you agree? Oh, do forgive me. I completely forgot who I was talking to for a moment there. What must you think of me?
Yeah. Anyways, 1920s, Luthor. Roaring 20s.
How's business? I hear the chink of coins and the clink of bottles.
You know, Prohibition's been a boon, an absolute boon. Mortals crave nothing more than forbidden fruit. Rosalind and Lou take their cut, of course, but the coffers are swelling. It's hardly a chore to pay that tax. We have a few rivals to put down. Easily dealt with. People know we have capable hands at the wheel.
Capable hands? There's a history, then.
You must know it, Detective. You lived here before you died, after all. The fire, the city's death and rebirth. I admire someone who has the guts to take direct action, don't you? I'm sure Hector will fill you in. Every lawman should know their city. Just so long as you overlook any whiskey barrels you find in dark places.
The sisters, the princes, they make quite the impression.
Oh, don't they just? Power, old sport, is a heady pheromone. It makes the delightful delectable and the harlot wholesome. It's a good look for the city. You can't buy charisma, nor even rent it for a night.
Good to talk to you.
Always an experience, Detective.
Good evening to you both.
How are you finding the party, my boy? They haven't kicked you out, which I guess is a good sign. You know Sophia, of course.
We've not actually met. I don't want to intrude.
Oh, please do. Fabian, right? You sent Gideon the puzzle? You are just as I imagined. He has told me so much. I mean, not that we talk behind your back or anything. Well, we do. But it's all good things.
Ah, yes. Thank you for reminding me. That puzzle you sent, an excellent recommendation.
I passed an entire night on it. Absolutely devilish.
Wasn't it just? It was "id" as a two-letter word that baffled me.
Yes, completely threw off my cipher. If you find any more like that, you must let me know.
So how are things, oh sire of mine?
Ah, same old, same old. They saunter in so full of hope and lose it at the table.
You did pick up on that fascinating man the other day. The one with the numbers?
That's right. The numbers man. I could tell he was working an angle. Fidgety fingers, you know? I went over, asked him very politely. Those beans came spilling out. He's some sort of math whiz, brain full of digits, flapping around like butterflies. So we broke a few of his actual digits and threw him out on his rear. You'd have liked him, I'm sure.
What are you working on, Sophia?
I just like to keep my head down. Try and be useful where I can.
Don't be so modest. Oh, you must tell Fabian about the wireless.
The wireless, yes. Imagine, we listened to an orchestra concert.
All the way from New York. Sophia has built a set from parts. Oh, it sounds like scratching in a box to me, but...
The potential to communicate instantly between cities, not shackled to the telegraph.
But then the risk. One mortal with a little equipment in their garage and our secrets are blasting out across the ether.
Well, that's the most alarming thing I've heard in a long time.
Exactly. Completely terrifying.
Is there anything I should, be aware of?
Actually, now you mention it, yes, a little morsel for you. Our friend Hector. I noticed some tension around the way he's holding his jaw. He's hiding something. A little push, and I could read enough to tell it was about a girl. I've never known him to spend time on romance. Interesting, don't you think?
I was joined with Fletcher, and, well, to be frank, he doesn't think much of either of you.
My dear boy, we may all be bloodsuckers, but Fletcher is a leech. He doesn't value you unless he can ride around on your shoulders like the parasite he is.
Gideon's insightful nature makes some kindred uncomfortable.
And Sophia's razor-sharp intellect makes us all feel like dullards.
I think maybe my tendency to put both feet in my mouth is what annoys them.
Oh, I hear you. I'm always giving myself a swift kick in the teeth. Are all Camarilla princes like ours?
Terrifying, gorgeous, power-hungry tyrants, you mean? For the most part, yes. We could do a lot worse than our girls, I suppose, but truly, all I hear of princes follows the pattern. You have to remember, my boy, we are all sharks in human clothing.
It is also short-sighted. I'm not criticizing them, of course. I would never. I think our community would be better served if we spent a little more time researching all these emerging technologies that humans are coming up with, so we can protect ourselves. And a little less time,
Posing in ballrooms? Very true, my dear. Disappointing, but not surprising.
Sophia, I hear you're the person to ask about blood bonds.
Heard the rumors about the sisters, have you?
Well, a blood bond happens when a kindred drinks the vitae of another kindred 3 times, under special circumstances. Once the bond has taken hold, the drinker will be irrevocably attached to the regnant. Absolute loyalty. Infatuation, even. It's a dangerous practice. Most kindred believe fostering such obsession is foolish. But I suppose it might explain why our 2 princes seem to get along.
Then who would have bonded whom?
It could be mutual. If both kindred bond in such a way, then both are bound together. Some call it a blood wedding.
You have met Lou Graham. The idea that she would bind herself to anyone is utter claptrap.
I should do the rounds.
A pleasure.
Yes, of course, of course.
I couldn't keep Lou waiting all night. Time to head up to face her.
Or isn't a character, Lazar. Sabora's a cheetah. Cheetahs can't talk. Hello? Oh. I get it.
Mistress Lou, you had something you wanted to discuss.
Ah, yes. The future, Detective. My sister and I have plans, and I'd like you to look into something for us.
I'll be honored, of course, to help you both out.
As you should be.
What do you want me to look into, Mistress Lou? Just give me the facts.
You're aware of our recent troubles in the liquor market? Has Fletcher said anything to you?
He mentioned something in passing about rivals.
We are about to expand, but are suffering from a small roadblock, Detective. A roadblock I put at your door.
Mine?
Your territory, at least. Our Vancouver run has been interrupted, perhaps even redirected, and the rumor says it's someone in law enforcement.
I can assure you, Miss Liu.
Oh, I do not suspect you. It requires a particular intelligence. I do have a location and have managed to acquire some photographs. I will have my man Campbell deliver it to your office.
That does sound like a solid start to a case. I won't deny it.
Now, if we can just... No! My sister!
One from the top, both literal and figurative. Our killer was out for the kindred of Seattle, and I had a feeling he was just getting started. Well, rise and shine, Sheriff. About time you clocked in. See what the Prince has lined up for us tonight.
You have nothing to say about your memories?
Well, that was a lineup of faces from 100 years back. Something's pulling them out of my past. Do I trust my own mind? I would not vouch for it. I do think those things happen, but why we're both seeing them and what bearing they have on our case? That is a puzzle I can't answer right now. I guess we should head out.
About time. Surprise!
How did you get here?
One dainty foot after the other, in the nomad steps he trod, or something equally festive. It's Christmas! Everyone's too wrapped up to even look around. A modern tragedy, am I right? All the lonely people. Mind you, it makes for easy pickings when you're feeling the need.
It is refreshing to find one of your clan outside the shadows.
Stepping out's my thing. I might be undead, but I know what I am. What we both are, right? We're fabulous. We're gonna live forever, and the normies are terrified of us. You're a bloodsucker, my friend. It doesn't get any more queer than that.
Queer?
Embrace it. Love it. Masquerade permitting, of course. Terms and conditions definitely apply.
None of this explains why you are here now.
Yeah. Heard of Isabella Moore?
We met.
Well, of course you did. Bit of a poseur, right? Toreador through and through. And then even further through. Art must be excess. Art must provoke. Art must live perilously close to railing the masquerade into orgasmic oblivion. Anyway, she has a nightclub, Atrium. There's blood on the snow outside, and the doors are locked. The cop bands are all stirred up. I'm kind of tied up with a thing. Do me a sheriffy favor, throw on your glad rags, slip into the party, see what's what.
Tell me about her. What am I likely to face?
Honest opinion? I fucking love art, you know? Real art, raw art. She's really good. But she's biting too deep. Thralls, blood dolls, pick your poison. She's made it big among the kind. Magazine cover big. Heck, internet big, they tell me. The bigger she is, the closer she grinds herself along the edge of the masquerade, the more she gets off on it.
I will visit this atrium.
A cut to the chase kind of sheriff. That's handy. Take it from a self-serving rat like me. You're doing okay so far. Ryong loves you, baby. But don't get any ideas. She might be new to this prince thing, but the kid's swinging the hammer right now. Don't piss her off.
There's just something so intimate about this time of night. Don't you agree, dear listeners? You're listening to The Bed of Night. My door is shut, the lights are low, and I'm all alone, ready, eager, and waiting for your call. First caller, what's going on in your corner of the city?
I'm downtown, watching the snow. Peculiar, isn't it?
This is the third night in a row, caller. Don't think I don't recognize your voice. Have a name you want to share with the class?
See, I could tell you, but some secrets are dangerous to unveil. Bet. What if the price of getting to know me better was a cute little target drawn on your back?
Well, with a line like that, I guess I'm going to call you Enigma. Hate to break it to you, but you don't scare me.
Maybe I underestimated you then. Be careful in the snow. Bet. Wouldn't want to leave any stains on it. Would you?
Until tomorrow night, Enigma. Next caller, catching a red eye, or did you stay awake just to hear my voice?
No. I'm a scientist. Well, a hematologist.
And what does a hematologist do?
Blood, mostly. We study blood and its diseases and disorders.
Interesting, but that doesn't sound like something you need to be doing in the middle of the night. Unless you're a vampire or something.
No, nothing like that. It's just... Look, I have a sample here that would get me reprimanded. Maybe even shunned in the scientific community if I reported my findings about it.
Well, I won't tell a soul, Mr. Scientist. Cross my heart.
Well, I got a sample from a GP for testing. The local lab was stumped. And to be honest, I'm completely befuddled. I've tested for leukemia, anemia, even sickle cell. The tests, they don't work. Whatever this is, it looks like blood to the naked eye, but it doesn't act like blood. It can't be blood.
Is it possible this is some sort of joke? Someone playing an elaborate prank on you?
No. I'm pretty introverted. I prefer my lab and equipment to my colleagues. Sometimes I don't even think they remember I work here. No, this is something real. Something right out of, I don't know, science fiction or something.
Well, I'm no expert, but science is meant to challenge what we think we know. Helps us simple folks understand what happens around us. Maybe this is a breakthrough. Maybe there's a Nobel Prize in your future.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Maybe. I could send this higher up with my findings. Maybe this is something for the Center of Disease Control or... Wait! Who are you? Don't come in and go...
Caller? Did we lose you? Well then. While I see if there's something loose in here besides me, why don't we take a break?
Are you tired of the same old dating apps where the spark just doesn't last? Are you looking for connections that go beyond the ordinary? Step into the world of Tender, where connections are eternal. Whether you crave deep conversations, romantic evenings, or thrilling encounters, our app brings you closer to what you truly desire. Discover love that never dies, only on Tender, because some bonds are meant to last forever.
Welcome back, listeners. I know you're busy out there, so I really appreciate you adding Bed of Night to your to-do list. If you're looking for a good time, give me a call. Hey, cutie. You're next.
Hey, Bet. It's Alan. I called you a couple of nights ago. About my wife?
Well, hello again, Alan. Any updates to your story? Did you find your wife in flagrante delicto with your neighbor?
No, not at all. He didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
A likely story.
I don't know who to believe, what to believe. I don't even know if I can trust my own eyes. I saw her again, Bet. My wife, she's dead. We buried her. I saw her downtown.
Grief is like a house, Alan. A house with strange mirrors and upside-down chairs and invisible walls. You have to fix it. Build up the walls again. Turn those chairs over and buy new mirrors. Maybe then you'll stop seeing your wife out of the corner of your eye. And maybe find a good therapist.
Okay. Maybe.
Well, the vibe's gotten a little heavy, so let's lighten it up, shall we? Hey there, Night Owl. You're talking to Bed of Night.
I just don't know what's happening to this city, Bet. I mean, I just don't feel safe anymore.
Part of the allure of the city at night is the danger. But I take your meaning, caller. Did something happen out there?
I was walking my precious Shih Tzu down North 45th Street like I do every night, minding our business, when a van comes screeching around the corner, nearly hitting us.
Since we're speaking, you obviously survived the encounter. Did anything else happen? Or is a rise of bad drivers making you feel unsafe?
Well, the van stopped a few feet away from us, and I tell you what, Bet, I was ready to give that driver a piece of my mind. But then the door flung open, and a whole gaggle of them poured out, grabbing some poor soul and shoving her inside.
Oh, so it's ice.
Now that is scary, caller. Did you report this to the police?
Well, no. It all happened so fast. I couldn't pick any of them out of the lineup, and honestly, I scooped up my little Bella and ran home. God, I didn't even notice that other person until they grabbed them. That could have been me.
You're safe now, caller. I know a warm bath and a glass of deep, rich red wine always calms me down. Give it a try. Well, my lovely listeners, it's that time of the night where we must part ways. But don't worry, I'll be right back in your ears before you know it. This has been Bed of Night, reminding you that secrets have a way of getting out. So why not give me a call? Good night, Seattle. Don't let all that snow get in your coffee.
What's with the snow and the coffee thing? All it's going to do is water it down. It's snow. I've been muted this entire time, so if you're hearing a dog, it's in-game. Excuse me, I need to violate the Masquerade. Or
Does it strike you as
not.
funny? Dreaming about Miss Moore's club only to be sent there. It all connects in the end. Chain link to chain link.
Oh goody, more side quests. I can't wait to do these. So, feeding gets me resonance. Resonance gets me abilities. I have to admit, there's really not a lot of interesting stuff, but I want to at least try, like, one of these abilities. The problem is they're extraordinarily expensive. So, like, I'm not sure, like, I'm probably only going to get one, maybe two at this point, and I'm not sure which to go for. I think I want to go with Earthshock. That just sounds like fun. It's an AoE, which is going to be useful in general, given the way they do encounter design. So, like, that takes a little bit more sanguine and a lot more whatever the purple one is. So I need more purple, I need more red. I need 6 more levels. What? What? Why? Why? I didn't do nothing. Very likely, yes, Sub-Zero. Like, forcing me to pick from a few abilities and not letting me get everything, that's fine. He's right there, do you see him? But preventing me from getting anything worth a damn, that's not great. No, Alex Brown, but it does have terrible side quests. Does that count? So one of the negatives I was just typing up is the camera. I don't know how many of you have worked with Unreal. There's actually a built-in thing in Unreal. That's the one type of blood I don't need. Where you can just attach a camera to an object, usually a player object, and just say, done, right? And I mentioned that because that's what they did here. The camera is attached to our character's head. There's our body actually rendered underneath us here, right? Oh my god, look at our animation. Look at us. Look at us. Anyways, you're probably thinking, so? Here's the thing. Most FPS games do various tricks or tips or little things to prevent all of the annoyances that this game has from happening. So, like, if I do a swing, right? The reason that camera jostled around like that was because the camera's attached to my head, and the head's moving when I attack. In most games, they'll have some... Yeah, sure, go away. In most games, they'll do something where, like, the camera doesn't specifically follow your head. It's like a specific spot, regardless of what animation your model's going through, assuming you even have a model. Yeah, some games it's attached to the root. Some games, it's like there's a specific camera object there, which is supposed to be that... stuff like that, right? There's things which the camera does in order to not jerk around a bunch when you're moving or attacking. Why is this guy trying to... I don't care about you, dude. And some games just pull the camera out of the face entirely and just kind of pulls it out to like third person, so that you just see all of the things around the unit, like Batman, right? Batman Arkham is a perfect example of that. I know I'm not showcasing this really well, but if I was to actually get in combat, you would see what I mean. And if you've seen me in combat, you know what I mean. The camera gets ridiculous. Let's grab a quest and see if this leads us to combat, so I can really show you what I'm talking about. But either way, the worst part about all of this is that this is lazy. And I hate to use that word when it comes to devs, but honestly, if there's one word that applies to this game, it is that it is lazy. The overwhelming majority of gameplay, of design, I feel like that's not even an appropriate use of the word, is something that's just like default, right? Just slapped it on and said, we're good. And again, attaching a camera to the player object is literally a default toggle in Unreal 5. There's no code required, right? Blade Traval could do this right now. I don't know if you do any programming. Anybody in chat who has never programmed in their life could figure out how to attach a camera to someone's head in like 30 seconds. It is extremely easy to do. But the problem is you probably shouldn't do that. In fact, if you do that in, random example, a side scroller, what you will have is the echo problem. Something I actually talked about, when we were reviewing Echo the Dolphin. Now, yeah, here's the thing. I say lazy. Rushed would apply in the same way, because both mean the same thing in this context, which is not putting work in. Whether it's because they chose not to, as a reminder, Chinese Room wanted this contract and sat on this for 4 years, or because they were told to finally shove the damn thing out the door, in which case they were rushed. But either way, it boils down to the same concept, is that there is not effort put in, no work was put in. Sure, Huthor. If it's deliberate, then it's just bad design. I cannot imagine that it's deliberate. I'm not even sure I can believe that. But continue. Talk me into it. I'm ready. Strike me down.
Always such a pleasure to greet your bright, smiling visage.
You interest me.
You have something for me to do?
I realize this is a horrible cliché, but if you're passing St. Stephen's, there should be a package amongst the graves near the ivy-covered tree. Could you bring it? It has a rather short shelf life.
I will see it done. I will return.
Well, it looks like we're not going to get combat for this one. This is a go-to interact with quest. Whatever. I need to figure out how to drop kick. Hang on a second. There we go. There's our speed tech right there. You notice it was actually speeding up.
Easier.
Sorry about this.
Oh.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time off camera trying to figure out exactly how to do that. Because I was trying yesterday and I couldn't figure out what was implied. So you can completely avoid the Masquerade gameplay as long as you don't ever want to gain new abilities. Which I realize that what it just sounds like I said is you don't have to engage in the combat as long as you don't want to level up, because that's kind of what it is. I also admit that I'm not impressed with the Masquerade gameplay at all. First of all, it's way too binary, as we've already shown. When you break the Masquerade, you're just killed instantly. Nothing you can do about it. Second, and far more importantly, let's compare this by talking about stealth gameplay for a second, because I think it's a good way to describe this. Stealth gameplay needs something there to make it gameplay. One of the biggest flaws, one of the biggest cliches for years was that games would have the mandatory stealth section. And the reason that always sucks is because it was shoved into a game where it doesn't belong, right? Like where there's no real tools, there's no kit to do the stealth, right? Thief succeeded because you have the arrow which puts moss on the ground, which gets rid of footstep sounds. And you have the rope, which allows you to pull yourself up into a higher thing, or whatever, right? You have the ability to snuff out the candles so you can hide in the darkness. You have kit, you have options, design, choices. There is gameplay into avoiding being detected, right? Most games think what stealth means is hitting C. Even Oblivion, which, if you remember, does not have particularly good stealth design, still has better than this. Because in Oblivion, you had to take into account what you had on your feet, what the terrain was, distance to them, and the relative lighting. And again, that's not like words. That's not the best, but that's still something, right? There's some design there. There's some stealth options you can do in order to not be detected. In this game, the Masquerade has no real gameplay around here. Let me just demonstrate really quick. Let me finish this quest first. Hang on a sec. Here we go.
I guess that's Mrs. T's parcel. Only a little damp. We should get it back to her.
Oh, that's true. You also have the illusion magic. And there's also magic items and buffs and custom spells which you can cast in Oblivion to also add to the kit. I keep focusing on the kit because the kit's the important thing. Obviously, level design is important as well. But if you don't have some kind of kit to what you're doing... Oh my god, I was not trying to kill a person.
Mine just got a bit thinner.
Level design is important, and obviously, duh, but like, if you don't have any tools in your kit to deal with being detected, then there's no gameplay other than running and hiding. Here, watch this. Okay, so, oh my god, I've been detected. What is my option? What do I do? Well, I can run and hide.
Cop killers tend to draw a bit of attention.
Hang on. Hang on a sec. This is it. This is the gameplay of the Masquerade. This is not gameplay. The reason I keep defaulting to this yeah, it's very Assassin's Creed. The reason I keep defaulting to this is because there isn't really any other option to deal with getting rid of the Masquerade violations, to getting rid of the stealth, because that's what it is. It is functionally a stealth system. That's sad if that's true, by the way, Huthor. Did it? Yeah, you can't kill everyone. The police respawn. And simply having the police shooting at you causes increased Masquerade violations. So, like, there is no option. There is no alternative. You are standing there, hiding in a corner. That's it. That's the option. I can't wait for this game. To speak about something positive for just a second. It's a lot of enemies. Still not known, Mook, believe it or not. 1 is out on the Switch, and it's a good remaster. 2 and 3, who knows? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, sorry. So I mentioned the Masquerade thing. Yeah, there it is. The thing is, we have to decide how many negatives the Masquerade is. Because let's be honest, it's bad, right? It is bad. It is not a good mechanic. It is not a good pseudo-stealth mechanic, and it is not a good alternate leveling mechanic. How bad is it, really? Because we could kind of completely ignore it and just not gain any abilities the whole game. But, like, that's the option, right? Live with it. Or don't get any of the abilities. What are we thinking? Turn in this awful side quest while we wait.
No taxis, buses.
So the primes are first-person platformers, which I know sounds weird, but they make it work because of that all-important thing I was just talking about. Design. Something I've talked about before, and something I will talk about when we get to the primes, is rather than make the mistake that a huge amount of first-person platformers made, they decided to focus the combat, especially, around strafing. But what I mean by that is almost all of the combat can be expressed as a circle. There's the boss right there, this cage I'm staring at. And while I am fighting this boss, I am locked onto the boss, and I am strafing around it. The easiest movement and the quickest movement I can do is rotating back and forth like this, strafing around it. And I can go in and out a little bit, I can go out a little bit, but it really boils down to this circle. And almost all of the level design is designed around this concept of circular combat. Oh no, this is one of the rare exceptions, Talia, because the Metroid Prime is built around the lock-on feature. Yeah, they made Samus into a tank. It's pseudo-tank controls, and it works pretty well. There are a couple of moments in Prime 1 where the platforming is a little iffy, but really just a couple. So, you know, when you're even when you're fighting basic enemies, you'll see, like, there's nothing around here approximately. So, like, say this pole right here and this pole right here are both enemies, and they'll come in at that kind of a cadence, so you could lock into this one and rotate this way to have both of them in your line of sight. Or you can lock into this one and rotate closer and be able to hit them with, like, say, the shotgun or whatever. And you get the general idea. All of the combat is designed around that circular movement, and the level design supports that, and the enemy design supports that. But also the platforming is pretty, you know, chunk, chunk, stuff like that. It's a weirdly good game. It has no right to be as good as it is. Anyways. There's other weapons, Twister?
How can I help you? Looking for a table to rest your elbows on?
Your package, Mrs. Thorne. Only lightly soiled by grave dirt.
Strange what powers mortals associate with stone and bones, isn't it? Yet because they do, there is power there. Have a cup on the house to pep you up.
Thanks.
I look forward to speaking again soon.
Yeah, I actually I'm leaning towards agreeing with you, Sub-Zero. It is not good, like, you pretty much have to engage with it in order to get the abilities. And engaging with it means pure time wasting. Ah, yes, I have successfully shot guns, Twister. Something anybody who watched yesterday's stream knows is I stopped doing the punchy because it was so terrible, and I started focusing entirely on telekinesis, because it's a lot more fun. It's arguably worse, like, objectively worse, but it's more fun, so screw it. Oh, it's Nico. It's also funnier. Throwing I agree with what Dakota said yesterday. If this had gone full beat-em-up, where there's just a ton of stuff in every combat arena that you could pick up and beat, and literally break, like, make each of the items in the area one use, but using it defeats an enemy. So you pick up a bat and you crack the bat over the body of the person you're attacking, and that just knocks them out, right?
Aha! The brave nomad returns to my humble store.
Is there someone who needs my attention?
I do have something. This glove belonged to Edward. Edward wore this glove to reduce clear bruising from the knuckles and scratches from his nails. His girlfriend is clumsy around furniture.
I will deal with this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll murder his face.
I look forward to speaking to you again.
There's no sheathing, there's just attacking. Like, if I just attack the area, that's my sheathing, right? And if I stand here for a minute, I unsheath. That's it.
Miracle, I don't freeze to death.
So let's see if we can do Blade Tools thing. I've actually tried to drag people off the streets before to feed on them. And the mechanic just didn't exist. Hey, Ross. You missed me talking about Metroid Prime and showing the new trailer.
Damn! Fine. Things I wouldn't do to that body. I hope you don't have anywhere to be. This evening just keeps getting better.
That's the FOV thing, Luthor, which I've already given a separate negative for. Wow. All that for nothing. Someone still spotted me.
That should see Nico satisfied. Let's drop in on him.
No, it's not a setting. You don't understand. Watch. Do you see that right there? It's most obvious when we pull out of combat.
Well, shit.
Motherfucker! Where are you?
Literally right here. Yes, Suthor, exactly. No, it's extremely disorienting. Like I said, everything about the camera screams disorienting. It's the perfect word to describe it. It's just, wow.
The hell are they?
Yeah, we're in China right now. Can't see me. I think I'm agreeing with that. Well, this is the Chinese room, and they don't know what game design is, so it could be deliberate. What are you talking about, Sub-Zero? People die of neck wounds all the time. My expectations with EU5? There's only two possibilities. It's either going to be phenomenal, or it's going to fall flat. So, I haven't played Still Wakes the Deep. Probably because it's called Still Wakes the Deep. It sounds like a game I wouldn't enjoy. Does it have gameplay? Because me and a friend of mine who actually is a game designer were talking about this game last night. No, Elizar, they're British. Okay, for those who don't know, the Chinese room is a concept. It refers to the fact that bots are not sentient and sapient, to really summarize that. It's actually a philosophical thing. That's why they're called the Chinese room. Anyways. Look, Spartan. But we were talking about the lack of gameplay. And it's so rare that I play a game that just has such an absence of gameplay design. There might be some story design, artistry design, as Huthor puts it. But there is an absence of gameplay design in this game, and it's throwing me. I was actually debating what genre to put this under, because, you know, I like to put these under genres when it comes to putting them on the website. And I don't know what genre to put this under. Yeah, it's like someone really, really wanted to be Deus Ex or Dishonored and had no idea what that was. How that worked. Yeah, adventure, aka the generic genre. Why? What? Sub-Zero? Oh, cop saw me. Cop saw me. Hang on. Need to find an overhang. There we go. Yeah, I'm with Huthor. UE5 is a perfectly good engine. Yeah, Sub-Zero. Exactly. It's going to be great or terrible. That's it. Those are our options. That's what's not to understand. You could talk to them, at which point, like, nothing happens. Is that trash? I trash people. Yeah, ever since Unity decided to crap their own bed, I have never been particularly fond of Unity. Unity was at least, like, the default engine, right? It was the easy to pick up engine, which had tons of support and tons of modules for it. And then it got worse. And then the company was much worse. And that's awful. I don't know what else to add that. I have actively started recommending people not even touch Unity. It's not like it was a great engine to begin with, you know. Probably Raven.
Snow is kind of pretty, but it still sucks.
Come in, stay a while. It is good to get out of the snow. I hear you visited Edward. That is justice.
I hope your night is pleasant.
Yeah, that was a great quest, wasn't it? I know you probably missed it because we were chatting that whole time, but that quest boiled down to run over and attack a random dude and then run back. That was the entirety of the quest. Which is funny because the last quest he gave us was exactly the same thing. It wasn't epic, but yeah, Sub-Zero. They also wanted to claim ownership of all of the things people made in Unity. Now, they walked that back, but the all-important customer trust was pretty much irrevocably broken with that. I know quite a few dev teams, usually smaller dev teams, like indie stuff or AA stuff, who flat out said it's no longer worth the risk using Unity going forwards. So they all bowed out of that. I don't know how well Unity's doing as an overall, because obviously I can't gauge such a thing. But, yeah. Anyways, so, you're asking if I think it could be, like, around 0.
I should have just crashed in the bar.
I suppose it can? I would be shocked if it did. Is this Onda?
Well, if it ain't
Yes.
the sheriff, what do you need?
Is there trouble I can deal with?
Looks like it. Arjun's one of the Thin Bloods that came in from Tacoma. He's been spotted in the parking garage opposite the PD. We should clear it out. They're getting too close.
I will deal with it. Pleasure as always, Onda.
Well, right here, what am I saving for? 12. I need 12 ability costs, and it's going to be Silky is going to teach me that, okay. Ouch, Jolix Brown. But yes, there are 42 formulas that go into the golden number. That's not a joke. It's a fairly large spreadsheet to keep track of it all. I suppose that's true, Sub-Zero. Let me adjust my statement. It's either going to be great, or it is not. Also, I love that we're talking about EU5 and UE5 in chat at the same time right now. I have nothing to add to that, I just think it's funny. Yeah, for good and for ill, UE5 is probably the new Unity. It has issues. It takes work to really make it, you know, work. But it's got lots of documentation, and it's shockingly easy to pick up and just poke at, right? It is also a visual programming engine. You don't need to know a lot of actual code in order to program in UE5. In Unreal. I'm gonna say Unreal. Let's make this list more clear. Let me go up. Yeah, exactly, Plutonia. Just like Unity. Like, I'm sorry, Unity is a pretty buggy and broken engine when you really get down to it. But it works just enough. I think I agree with you, Blade Jabal. How can I get up there? There we go. Okay, so let me show off the camera woes I was talking about earlier. I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to temporarily turn up the difficulty so they will live longer. Turn it up to normal.
Whoa, damn it! Here! This fucker! Fuck!
Oh, so we actually died. So, that is what the camera looks like in combat. Turn that back down now. I mean, there's plenty of ways to cheat those, Loner. It's pathetic, really. So yeah, so how's the Masquerade handled in tabletop? The answer is it depends on your GM. They call it a storyteller in that version, but game master, right? Person running it. Generally speaking, the goal is the same, right? You avoid you avoid breaches. If you absolutely have to have a breach, that's usually treated as an entire plot arc, a quest, to put it into simple terms. For example, speaking as someone who has worked as a storyteller, if you're my players, if you're my players and you end up getting like cornered in broad daylight, or well, okay, not broad daylight, you know what I mean, out in the open, and you have to do a breach, dealing with that breach is now your next story arc, right?
Ugh, can't wait until more Anarchs get to Seattle.
By the way, stealth killing is ridiculous in this game, completely unaffected by difficulty. And because stealth is such a binary nothing burger, it's actually really easy to just sneak up upon someone.
Make this city what it deserves to be.
And do this. Notice I am currently undetected still. Oh, someone actually saw me. It took a while, too.
Shit! Help! Yeah! I fucking live for this! Fucking die! Get out of here! Fucking Die! Like this!
Ooh, they deserve that. On the movie, please.
Alright, there's our gunplay for the game, by the way. Also, another interesting thing about the gunplay. Did that... Oh my god, that snow is thick. Another thing about the gunplay, every gun, you fire it until it runs out of ammo, and then it's out of ammo. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, duh, Laura, but what I mean by that is every gun you pick up has, functionally, one shot, or rather, one round of shots. Once you've shot it, it's just another object you can fling. So, that's also great. Is that everything? Yes, how are we looking over here? Do I have enough of those? I just need 3 more levels. And then we'll go ahead and be able to use Earthshock. Yeah, they always have 4 rounds left. Even when it's a shotgun. Alright, so let's see if I can do this now that we got a nice long trip ahead of us. Let's go south. Whoa! Apparently I can't do that going up a gentle slope. Yeah, at certain levels of humanity, one of the consequences of having low humanity is that you have difficulty pretending to be human anymore. Like, you can't eat food, and you have difficulty pretending to breathe, and your complexion gets, you know, more dead. Stuff like that. Isn't it great? By the way, this is actually kind of complex to do. This is 3 button presses per lunge. Whoa.
There's Adrian. Fancy feeding ground for a fancy dame.
It is, however, faster than any other means of transit I have.
Carefully.
You just see that one fly kicking down in the snow. In the snow. Yeah, back in my day, in the 1800s, that's just how we got around. Greetings, fellow human. Yeah.
Evening, friend. Afraid there's no fun to be found here. Back of the line, maybe it'll open up later.
Officer McMillan. 3 kids, wife has a bad leg.
Officer Macmillan, good to see you again. How is your dear wife?
Hey there. She's good, thank you. But if you know Abigail, you know she'd tell you to run along home. Strong drink is a mocker.
Yeah, that's Abigail.
Place is locked up tight and no one's answering. Sorry to spoil your night, friend, but I'd find your party elsewhere.
Oh my god, oh my god.
So much for sweet talking. It's a big building. There'll be another way inside.
You know how we got to the you know how we crossed the Oregon Trail? Yeah, I noticed they haven't even mentioned the beast. Oh, that's not true. Fabian mentioned it once in one of his random diatribes, but they haven't actually talked about it yet. You also notice we have no humanity score at all. Based on our overall demeanor and presentation, I'd say we actually have reasonably high humanity, which is kind of interesting. But, again, that's giving the game too much credit. I doubt that the writers actually knew humanity exists as a concept. By contrast, Fabian, and I will give him this, demonstrably has pretty low humanity score. He's closer to, like, say, 5, maybe, I'd say. Somewhere around there. Yep, this is how I stand whenever I'm standing someplace. Thank you for the sub, Hive King. Always appreciate. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. So, would I consider this an RPG or an action game with RPG elements? Neither. There are no RPG elements in this game. This is not an RPG, top to bottom. I know that the line of what is an RPG is pretty vague, and people have gotten into arguments about it since the 90s. But this is not an RPG at all. We do not have stats. We do not have inventory. We do not have any substantial choices gameplay. We have nothing on either gameplay or story access that leans itself towards this being an RPG. Yeah, we have a crude, basic, surface-level combat system. And, that's it. We're gonna assume we did Samacon, because I refuse to play a vampire who's a dick. What's funny, Takoida mentioned this in passing, but this is actually true. One of the primary goals of a player character vampire, this is not a joke, is to essentially stop being a vampire. So I mentioned the humanity thing. Most real-life humans are around humanity 7 or 8, right? You can go up to humanity 10. At humanity 10, you actually get tons of bonuses. But good luck managing that. Let's see, what was it? I forget. I think it was humanity 5 is right about when you stop having the concept for empathy. Let's see here. Hang on. So, humanity 5. Yep, nope. At humanity 5, you stop caring about other people. At humanity 6, you start to have a little bit of an understanding that other people exist. Humanity 7 is, of course, the default. So you will still tend to view things such as murder as wrong. But that's about it. At humanity 8, you were able to comprehend, this is a directly quote, you were able to comprehend and feel the pain from anguish they cause. In other words, you have empathy at humanity 8. I love the description of humanity 9. Kindred with this rating tend to be more humane than most humans. You actually take half sunlight damage at humanity 10, by the way. And you could just straight up stay awake during the day. And you can eat food. And drink drink without issue. Anyways. Yeah, World of Darkness is called that for a reason. Most people in this... this isn't quite the same as the GTA setting, but it does lend itself towards the same concepts. Most people in this setting suck, regardless of what they happen to be. There are exceptions. So, yes, what you, the player, do changes your humanity score. It's supposed to be a big deal. There's only 10 humanity score. There's 10, and then there's 0. If you're at 0, you stop being a player character. You actually no longer can play a humanity 0 because you've lost. You're not even a person anymore at that point. You are actually just an animal. So, changing humanity up or down is supposed to be a fairly major thing. And it's supposed to be the kind of thing that you sit down, you have a conversation with your GM and say, hey, you know, my goal is to kind of go up the score. I want to have this kind of empathy, sympathy, etc. And it's a discussion, right? Maybe the GM insists you have some kind of external thing pulling up to that. Maybe it's just something you consistently persist on across several sessions, right? It's a goal. Same thing with going down. If you're going to descend, there is something, I forget what it's actually called in the setting, but there's a spiral effect. Most vampires descend in their humanity over time. This is one of the reasons why some of the true ancients have extremely low humanity score. Because it's just natural, is that as the longer a vampire lives, the further down their humanity score is going to go. So we know with total certainty there were RPG elements in the first version of the game, Jelix, the one we're not playing. From what I understand, this version of the game, the one that Chinese Room started working on, never had RPG mechanics. Like, of any type. This is... There's a lot of snow in here. This is just going to ruin this patio. Okay, well, I found an alternate way in, game. Can I go in now? No? No, I cannot. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Right. Yeah, humanity really boils down to having the capacity to actually give a damn about other people, which means you can't, by definition, cheat it, right? Obviously, this boils down to the individual storyteller, but you're not supposed to be able to cheat your humanity score, right? You can't fake caring about people. If you fake caring about people, then you don't care about people, and you have lower humanity score. That's how it works. And yes, by nature of the fact that VTM is a LARPing thing in addition to a tabletop thing, the rules tend to be a lot more loose. Even in D&D, the GM's word is law, but in Vampire the Masquerade, the storyteller's word is pretty much the only law that matters, and they can change things however they want to, dependent. Now, I can lead arguments, but... Yeah, you have a pool of stat that you spend on doing actions. A pool of stats? A pool of dice, excuse me, that you spend on doing actions. And your traits and your merits are things that make it cost less or more dice in order to do things, which increases or reduces your success chance. Yeah, there's not supposed to really be combat in Vampire the Masquerade. I've played Vampire the Masquerade both LARPing and tabletop for years. This is all old stuff, so older editions, but back in the day we had maybe a handful of combat encounters total, ever. Usually when one particular vampire decides he has a particular beef with someone else. Or when a werewolf invades. Okay, I don't know what you want from me here, game. Wait. I can drink the blood of someone who's kissing? Okay, I have to know what happens. There. Now they're both having orgasms immediately after having kissed each other. And yeah, it's all about, like, the politics and the... If you ever played a D&D game where there's almost no combat, but there's a whole lot of social interactions, then you've basically played Vampire the Masquerade. Because that's the goal. Like, the political intrigue, talking your way around people, like, that's the intent. I don't know if that was... Let me walk that sentence back. I don't know if that was the intent, but that's how we walked into it, right? That's how every group I've ever played it with has approached it. Is the goal is to play at politics. It's a political game. No, feeding off someone doesn't... You have to actually feed them to turn them into a vampire. Embracing is a whole thing. How do I get in? Like, I'm really irritated about this because the quest thing is just pointing me here. And here's the problem. There's no other indicators other than the quest indicator. We've actually already run into this problem, but, like, this is just really frustrating. Because I clearly already found an alternate way in, but there's nothing up there. In fact, I found my way up there twice. Oh my god, they're back to kissing! Okay.
Blood on the snow? If I had to guess, that came from Atrium. Intentional? A message? A cry for help? Or, maybe you could scramble up. Look for a window.
You've got to be kidding me. That was it? That was...
A masterpiece, huh? That smells of Isabella.
No, Jolly's Brown. This game is so detached from this franchise that it might as well not even be a part of the setting. They borrow the terminology, but they don't even use it right.
Make her proud.
Just a few more days, the court's reign will end. Damn! It's one of ours! Something in the shadows. Perhaps it is another test.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of bodies. VTMB1 did a much better job of using the franchise. I don't want to overpraise that game because it's a rough and crude game, which has many issues, but it's still a better usage of the setting than this.
Now that's handy. They've made us a way up. Did you notice they wore your symbol? Benny, now these people? Curious. So much blood, but not all fresh by the tang.
Are they cooking people? They're cooking people. Of course they're cooking people.
Those are no dogs. Those are where dogs come from.
A great art requires sacrifice and dedication. I am beauty, and my art is my song, a music to last through the ages. I have seen Lascal in the thickening of
So,
I have wallowed in the
vampires tend to not like interacting with werewolves for extremely obvious reasons.
drops that fall from the overcast, and each thrum
Investigate his shadow.
Past that, one of the things you have to understand about the World of Darkness is that there's actually a weirdly small amount of crossover between its various settings. As in, if you pretended each different thing was its own setting, you wouldn't really change much. So, like, werewolves kind of do their own thing, vampires do their own thing, changelings do their own thing, wraiths really do their own thing. Mages do their own thing.
Oh, that has gotta hurt.
To you, my docile lambs.
Hey, off the deep end.
Acolytes, my sacrificial virgin.
Why is there this plastic wrap over everything? How much time and effort do you think it would take to set up
The water of life.
that much plastic wrap over everything? Whoops, 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 whoops. Yeah, in lore, I could see it for certain very specific setups and groups. Like a mummy working with a werewolf. Sure, but like, why? A mage can work with pretty much anybody they want to, because they're kind of neutral. Wraiths just do their own thing, so they're not going to coexist, really. Changeling? Maybe? But probably, like, not in the same way you'd normally think. I don't know, those just know. So that just leaves, like, nothing, really.
Now, this is more like Isabella.
I knew what you meant, Tsar. Or not Tsar, sorry. I know what you meant. Cool, just going.
Made of gold and wonder and be incandescent. And you will become art. Become the dance and the interchange.
Ah, drained to the dregs. I've seen this getup before. This is one of Isabella's blood dolls. A willing victim.
This new world. This gift, this giving, this heart is mine. And I give this heart to you, my people. So jump.
Drained to the death, and so many. This is slaughter. If nothing else, this threatens the Masquerade. Just think of the paperwork.
My
The first painting, it had your symbol. That got anything to do with it? Huh, no easy way in unless you have the knack. If any of her security were around, I'd say knuckle an answer out of them.
Who I spent. The water of life flowed onwards to the fountain. Such fragile ephemera.
Oh,
Icicles on the tongue.
Whose arts in Atrium?
To rise us.
Mages are silly. That's the simplest way to put that.
Well, hey there. Hope you're not looking for a bite to eat. Pretty as you are, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to find another vein tonight. I'm a little short.
A little short. She's nearly empty.
Where is the entrance to the club?
Now, why would you want to go in there? You got pure intentions? Because I'll die before I betray my Bella.
I am here to appreciate the art. I hear this will be the greatest performance of any generation.
You got that right. She's the greatest artist that ever did live. I'd follow her to the ends of the earth.
And how do you fit into this?
Wait. Don't we know her?
I'm Victorine. I'm Lizzie Siddle. I'm Ophelia, floating in the river of blood. I am her muse.
You are her food.
Well, I guess you can just call me Verona. But you'll see. Oh, she'll paint me eternally beautiful. Her art, it'll save me. Wash my sins away.
Oh my. It is her. Poor kid.
You are dying. You need help.
You're awful sweet for Karen, but I give myself willingly. I'd die for her 100 times over if I could. 'Cause I'll live forever in her art. She paints salvation, and our screams are our prayers. She'll take us to heaven, and her work will open the door for us all.
That's our clue. It's her work. The entrance is something to do with her work.
She gon' pin me up against the wall like the masterpiece I am. I can't wait.
So, the way in is through her art somehow. Poor Verona went down the same route as her sister. Guess it's one way to grieve.
A dedication. I am beauty, and I will be heard. My art is my song, a music to last through the ages. I have seen Lascaux in the thickening of a world congealed. I have wallowed in the meat joy and seen the dawn we can walk through when our works are revealed. That the drops that fall from the overcast are scarlet, and each thrums with the still heart.
Ooh, feel that breeze? Did that door just close behind us? Well, when God closes a door...
What?
The cat complains, usually.
So it's probably hard to tell on screen, but each of these people's heads have been ripped off.
What's wrong?
I feel...
Fire? Fire! You alright?
She has done something to me.
Yeah, we don't have our abilities.
She practically brought us here to sap your power. I have never heard of this.
Okay, that's disturbing, but it's probably done on purpose for once. Although, a lot of those people are standing in terrain, that part's probably not on purpose.
What in tarnation?
There's only 2 models present, total. 1 male, 1 female.
Take care.
So, this is interesting. One of the defenses I've heard in my head, I haven't heard anybody actually give it yet, is that the combat's not terrible because you don't have to melee. Like, you've got all those fancy abilities. Anyways, here's a mass combat where we don't have access to our abilities. And we have to melee. And they really like to stun lock. And no, I didn't have a feed ability.
This level of control, the ghouls, the blood dolls.
Even me.
Yeah. It's a goddamn cult. Jonestown. Tools, toys to be used and discarded at her pleasure. We gotta stop this.
Sorry, you asked that earlier, Sub-Zero. It's very appropriately edgy. I like it, even though it's obviously just literally the poster she saw on the wall when we said it. Nice little bit of visual storytelling there. I do think it's funny that everyone spells it correctly. I guess that's subtitles, because you'd think most people would think it's F, right? Fire. As opposed to fire. I feel like we're being herded a bit. Yeah, no. Cheese can be good. Main character being named Fire is appropriate. Yes, another red room. Appropriately, I suppose. They really stun lock you. This has got to suck on harder difficulties, because they just sit there and prevent you from taking action, and they're ganging up on you too. And you have no kit for dealing with this.
So many bodies because of her. We need to end this.
No, it's infinite usage with cooldown. How do I get over there? I can get anywhere. Where do you want me to go, game? I'll draw the question.
Oh, little flame, you have made this such a collaboration. How wonderfully destructive of you. But all art is violence without the right canvas. Is our work not sublime?
Slaughter is hardly art, Isabella.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, dearest. Art is all about killing. The delicate brutality to pursue one special idea. I thought you might understand. Ventrue have such refined tastes.
She does like the sound of her own voice.
You know this, Mark. You used it to weaken me. Tell me what it is.
A child's doodle. Unimaginative and inelegant. The work of lesser hands. Think of it as a harness, designed to constrain and control. I won't deny that leashing you is pleasant.
You invited me here to witness this? Why make me your audience?
Don't think so little of yourself, Nomad. You are a participant, a misplaced fragment of the greater art.
What are you talking about?
Don't you fret. You will be put in your proper place.
The drained mortals, the bloody gutters. Why are you doing this?
I serve the fountain that will slick the streets of the mundane. From its waters shall spring an end. From the end, a beginning.
The end of what?
Why, the Masquerade! Ushering forth the bold new dawn of shamelessness.
Stop playing futile games.
We've put off our love match long enough.
I will have straight answers from you.
And what can you give me for them? I've told you before, Fire. Art always takes.
This is more than you alone. Who is behind this?
It's in her eyes. She's dying to tell you.
All artists desire to be seen, to be understood. That is what their work is. A muse guides you, and you want to tell me.
Very good. You continue to impress. My answer should be no surprise. You've spent centuries running. A frightened rabbit before the sword of Cain.
Sabbat. Monsters. A death cult.
So simplistic.
I will destroy you, Isabella. And when I find your pack, I will destroy them as well. No mercy.
I should hope not. Now run, rabbit. Run, rabbit. Run, run, run!
Now we fight a boss with no abilities. You know, I was just thinking about another thing that's wrong with the combat. There's no block or parry or dodge. There's move and attack. So when I start to get stun locked, that's it. It's like Double Dragon, the original. Oh, never mind. There is a dodge. Ignore me. I'm stupid. Let's rebind that, because that's a terrible key binding. Put that on the... Oh my god. Okay, there it is. Never mind. I'm done. I'm done. I'll put that over here. No. We'll put that over here. Sure. Okay, so we have a dodge. See if we can dodge out of its stun lock. Looks like we actually can. Okay, never mind. Oh, I will not give additional negatives to the core combat then, because I was planning to. You know, I appreciate a game that gives you some kind of feedback on the result of what you did. Plus 5 rep with such and such. But I don't think it does anything here. I don't think it means anything. I don't think there's actually any impact from any of those I was impressed by. I've seen nothing to indicate that that's a thing so far.
How to get rid of it.
Little flame. Love me.
Fire, this is her power. Don't listen!
love me.
Shut up!
Well, that's one way to do it.
Frickin' Toreadors, am I right? I mean, we are depowered, but yeah, come on.
Ah, fire. Everything under wraps? How's Isabella holding up?
Isabella was deranged. She was puppeting her crowd, draining them, her lake of blood to bathe in. She had no intent to preserve the Masquerade, quite the opposite, in fact. So, I took her head.
Well, shit. She always was one match away from an exploding cigar.
There's gonna be fallout. Tully, the PD.
On it. Gonna be tricky without our back room buddy, but I'll get it done.
But Tully's right. She was a problem. It's past time we trim the fat. Call it restructuring. Either way, it makes things easier. Well done, Sheriff. I'll make sure you're compensated.
What I want is answers. Instead, I find only more questions.
And as per our agreement, you're more than welcome to run your own investigation. Besides, you have Sophia now. She's scatterbrained, but she's never once let me down. Just give her time.
I am not finished with my report. Isabella. She claimed to be Sabbat, a member of the Sword of Cain. I assume you know of whom I speak. Cultists, Diablerists, the Ancient Blight. In the name of Cain, they would expose us, ruin us, run us out, or worse. No princedom is safe. Even a stable Seattle would fall to their chaos.
Cutie, you'd look great in a tinfoil hat, but I smell either batshit or bullshit.
Tully! I apologize for him, Fire. Please, continue.
That is not all. My mark. She knew it. She used it, somehow, to weaken me.
Listen, Demolition Derby, that's not the sort of thing you should throw around, capiche? A sheriff with a kill switch is not a useful sheriff.
Tully!
Look, Prince, with all genuine respect, you had 100 problems. Now you have 99, because thanks to the Nomad over here, a Tory ain't one. But Sabbat's in the Belfry? Let's not invent ourselves a whole new to-do list.
I hear you, but we stay in business by dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Fire, look into this. I'll let Sophia know. Tully, just try to be helpful. This meeting's adjourned.
Completely different setting. Off the deep breath. Yep, time to kill Tully. That's a shame. Liked him. Sorry, Tully. Good evening. Sorry. Okay, look. More side quests. I can't wait to do more side quests.
Well, if it isn't my favorite neck snapper. Note, I am not wearing a protective collar, but that's only because I saved that for my intimate friends.
Are we not intimate?
Oh, don't take this badly, but you're a few centuries too old for me. This little chat is courtesy of my selfless desire to entertain the elderly. So listen up. Court's got secrets. All sorts of secrets. Territories, favors, contracts, obscure cult bullshit. Years and years of that good stuff. We don't write it down. That would just be plain dumb. Almost as dumb is to stuff it all into the head of a savant bookkeeper. But well, that's what they did.
Who did this? And why?
Oh, Lou and her sainted child Campbell set it up. I'd say they were wasted on hooch, if a vampire could be wasted on hooch. Anyway, before my time. See, there's this hive name of Willem, Quart's secret keeper. For obvious reasons, he knows stuff. I was thinking he might have some hint about your mark buried away in his megadome.
Where will I find this Willem?
Last I heard, he was in the parking garage. It's where he goes when he's sulking. Advance warning, it's kind of rank. But I guess it's perfect for a Nosferatu who's ashamed to let his freak flag fly.
My thanks.
Hey, gotta be both a taker and a giver in a solid relationship. Am I right, sweetie?
It's definitely similar, Archeon Vale. For good and for ill. But you know one thing that's better about this game than Starfield? Yeah, that's hard to maintain. It's 3 button presses every single lunge. And it gets faster. Like, you have to do it faster because you're going faster each lunge. Ah! Come on. Yeah, exactly. I would love to see someone, or a speedrunner, just lunging their way through the game. Anyways, it was the rule of thumb that the golden number gets worse for a bad game the longer it goes on. So, there's 2 layers there. Time in a game, the longer game is, in other words, is more possibilities for positives and negatives. Not a guarantee of them, just a possibility of them. However, any game on either side of it, so whether it's positive or negative, it gets magnified by sustained quality. So, to put this simply, a bad game that continues to be bad gets magnified bad for being long. A game that continues to be good gets magnified good for being too long. Make sense? A 60-hour game that continues to have good density is going to score extremely well. And vice versa. A 60-hour game that's extremely bad, and consistently bad, is going to score extremely badly. It's one of the reasons games like Starfield and Secret of the Stars currently hold the crown there at the bottom, is because they never stopped being bad.
A little bird tells me you dealt with that revolting business down at the atrium. Isabella's so-called art always was rather tasteless. Not a floral in sight.
You have something for me to do?
Between Muldoon's Auto Repair and Chinatown, you'll find a back door to one of the finest kitchens in Seattle. Would you drop this little gift to Miss Yu? It is rather unstable, so do be fleet of foot.
Very well. Be well, Mrs. Thorne.
Yeah, sorry, I should elaborate on that more. The name of this quest is Fast Food. Oh my god. So the reason Secret of the Stars is so far down is because it is extremely densely bad. The reason Starfield is so down is because it is very long, sustained bad. Both games stayed bad. One was short, one was long. And both of them, you know... Red water taco. That's some wonderful bloom. Look at that. And both games, you know... I guess that's it. End statement. Terminate communication. I did not know that, Sub-Zero. That's kind of cool. It's also terrible, because games should just have auto-walk. But, you know. I'm with it. I'm in. Or wait. There's a stupid thing. Lol, Dragon. Listen, you really, really wanted it, apparently. Dang it.
Another scroll. That'll please, Ledger.
It's not what I'm after. I'm after the freaking quest item. Where's the quest item? Yeah, Subnautica, if I could ever explain to someone why I praise that game, well, Subnautica certainly has issues, especially in its endgame. The fact that I enjoyed it so much and played through it twice, despite my issues with water, says all it needs to about how good of a game it was. Like, for real, where's the package?
Spare $1? Really appreciate some help.
God damn it. Why are there so many homeless people? I know! Subnautica Below Zero was not good. And Subnautica 2 is either never happening or will be worse than bad when it finally comes out. Let's try this person.
Want a party? I moved to Seattle to get away from weather like this.
I mean, no, Archeon Vale. I actually have already covered it, but to try and summarize briefly, this game's development is actually extremely tattered. Like, we could pretty much guarantee everything about why this game is the way it is at this point in time, because the moment Paradox bought the IP, someone stepped forward and said, hey, we want to make a game for that IP. They said, sure. They stumbled, they had issues, and then Paradox went through their we're terrible managers phase, which they are arguably still in as of this moment in time. The project pretty much got torpedoed, and another company stepped in and said, hey, we'd like to continue that project. Which they did, and here it is. In other words, the Bloodlines name doesn't have anything to do with anything. That could have happened to any project, even if it wasn't attached to an existing IP. Yeah, they actually had already started work on a VTM V2 immediately after VTM V1 came out. I think that at least some of the financial success of this game is due to the name on the cover. That's pretty normal. Most people will buy based off of one of three things. Word of mouth, how cool the images look, how cool the marketing looks, and what the name of the game is. While there are obviously other factors, those tend to be the biggest ones in terms of broad sales. Now, lasting success, that's different. That's a whole different ballgame. If you want a game to keep selling well for years, you need to do other stuff. I don't think this is going to be a game that's going to sell well for years.
Step back! Miss Yu, I have a package for you.
Oh, thank you.
I needed to look up a YouTube video to find that stupid twit. I am just that stupid. Let's go to this stupid thing. Exactly, Tully, is it? I know there's a lot of examples of this, but I love to point to the Final Fantasy franchise as the perfect textbook case of what happens when a sequel does well or poorly. FF8 sold extremely well, better than FF7 actually, because of FF7's critical response. FF9 sold terribly because of FF8's critical response. There's actually lots of examples of that.
Something went down at the atrium. Care to share the details?
Isabella overstepped her bounds, and as sheriff, I dealt with it.
Huh. Good. Never talked to her, but I did hear her spout a lot of bullshit.
Is there trouble I can deal with?
Looks like it. You know the Tacoma bar over by the park? Coffin Joe made an appearance up on the roof there, trying to break into a building. Dealing with him will shut down one of the smaller Anarch factions.
I will deal with it. Have a good night.
Yeah, whatever game Larian makes next is going to sell quite well. Well, regardless of how good it is. I imagine it'll be decent. I mean, you know, DOS 2, right? It'll probably be DOS 3, if we're being honest. They haven't said yet. They've been very tight-lipped about it.
Just a few more nights, and I can get out of here.
Yeah, exactly, Dame Celeste. Baldur's Gate 3 is still selling. They have a hell of a war chest right now. I think it's the longest streak I've managed so far. Yeah, word of mouth does wonders for a game retaining sales. Shovel Knight is a great example of that. Shovel Knight kept generating sales for years after it came out because everyone kept talking about how it was a great game. By the way, if you haven't played Shovel Knight, I recommend it. It's a great game. If you're into platformers. Yeah, Hollow Knight too. Same situation. Yeah, Alcad is also going to be doing fine for quite some time. They have their audience and they know it. I haven't heard anything, Sub-Zero, but it's entirely possible I just haven't heard about it yet.
That dealt with Om's troublemaker.
Fuck it!
Oh, that's true. You could be thinking of Dark Heresy, which I am looking forward to, for the record. And I haven't even played Rogue Trader. Still looking forward to it. Then again, I'm going to be playing Rogue Trader co-op. That'll be fun. Ooh, that's actually a really tough question, Ross. And it depends on something I don't have an answer to, which is if they finally walked away from the idea that they need to have some new gimmick every new Zelda game. Which we talked about endlessly during the actual run, and never stopped pissing me off. Having said that, considering we haven't heard anything at all, and they're going to announce a Zelda game relatively, early, I would say we're at least 2 years out. I admittedly do not off the deeper end, but that's because I value game design over, like, gimmick design. Like, I don't like the sword in Skyward Sword. I don't like the touchpad in the Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks games. At this point, I'd say all bets are off, whether it's going to be 2D or 3D. Complete coin flip.
I heard what happened at Atrium. I respect your actions, and I cannot say I'm surprised. She led so many astray.
Is there someone who needs my attention?
I do have something. Caro is an angry man. He regularly pawns this ring and buys it back to propose marriage to each new conquest. His real wife believes he works hard.
I have the scent. I look forward to speaking to you again.
I did like summoning in Echoes, and I did like building in Tears. Absolutely. The point I'm trying to reach... There we go. What I'm trying to reach is that there's this... attitude? That's weird. I can't go through here. There's this attitude they have, and I talked about it constantly during the Zelda run, where, hell, it's something that's actually the reason we don't have a new Star Fox game, right? If we can't do anything new, why make something at all? And that has been a dominant theory at Nintendo for years, and it has been a poison to their game design for years. Again, as I've mentioned several times, the development team didn't even want to make Twilight Princess. They were basically blackmailed into it. Then, the only reason they agreed to do something after Twilight Princess was because they came up with the sword gimmick, and so forth and so on. There are several examples of this kind of thing. How do I... Okay. Anyways, no, Twilight Princess is amazing, but, like, my point is, their attitude is, and I want to stress that I'm being literal about this, it's a poison. It poisons their concept of game design and what they're willing to do and what they're willing to work on, how they're thinking creatively. And yeah, this is exactly why F-Zero hasn't done anything, is because what is there in F-Zero that isn't already accomplished with Mortal Kombat? Mario Kart. And why do anything with Star Fox? We've already done everything with Star Fox. I forget the exact quote, but there is an exact quote about it, and it is just eyebrow-raising. This guy's been all over the place. It's also the same attitude you've seen from Valve, or at least we used to see from Valve. I'm pretty sure it's a load of crock by this point in time.
Parking garage, can't miss it. I take it carefully. Willem is easy to spook.
Mega Man sequel. I mean, that's what Blade Travel just said, probably jokingly, is exactly why that attitude frustrates me so much. Mega Man didn't iterate for years, but you know what it did do? It got better. I'm sorry, Mega Man 5 and 11 are some extremely good games. But they're just Mega Man 2 again. So who cares, right? Drives me insane. Look, don't mistake me. I do understand that people want to push things forward and try new things, and that's fine. But if you're that insistent on refusing to do a new Zelda, or do a new F-Zero, or do a new Mega Man, or do a new whatever, then farm it out to someone who is going to do something with it. Right? At least then we'll have something, which may suck, but it is quite literally not nothing.
Better call this in.
Hang on, I'm gonna find the quote. Hang on, I'm gonna find the quote. Something could also be better. The power-ups and the overworld map, first of all. It would take a while for me to actually find the actual quote. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes. Here, let me finish this quest, and I'll show you what happens if you do a Masquerade violation, Arcambio.
Come in, stay a while. It is good to get out of the snow. Carl's wife is grieving, they tell me. I will send her a letter. It is only fitting that she know the truth.
Be well.
Okay, so quest complete. Wonderful, wonderful quest complete. These are such good quests. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going next. Oh, hang on. We can actually get Earth Shock. So we need to go to the Dutchman, which is like up there. Okay. So, is this a cop? Hello, cop. Okay, now that the cop's watching me.
Oh, waste of a good meal to me.
Where they go? Someone there?
And we're dead. That's what happens. Someone who has clearly been tailing us this entire time just peeks out and stakes us out of nowhere. Oh, I know. It's pathetic. I don't want to pull the lazy card again, but I'm not sure what else to call that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh yeah, you also lose experience when you do that. Imagine that. This is how all elders traveled back in the 1800s. So, believe it or not, the answer is more varied than you'd think, Savacom. This was actually something we talked about earlier. It really boils down to your GM, right? Masquerade violations are bad, so generally speaking, if you do violate the Masquerade, the first thing you do is you try to cover it up, right? Now, if, depending on your GM, that could turn into a quest. I've actually mentioned this before, right? If one of my players violates the Masquerade, I would then turn it into their next quest arc is fixing it. That's their grace period. Fix it. You help fixing it, we'll let this one walk for the moment, but you're on thin ice.
It's a shame about Isabella. Right off the rails, but you can't deny it. She was punk as fuck. And in those outfits, too.
Yeah, that's great.
I still need help to recover my strength.
Can't say I enjoy it, but okay.
So I want... Earthshock. There it is.
I can help you remember your...
Oh, that's interesting.
But you'll need something potently Bruja to bring those memories back. Here.
Is this your blood? In a shot glass?
A custom Dutchman shot glass, yeah. Knock it back. It'll put hairs in your chest. You got it? Good stuff. Now get out there and wreak some havoc.
Perhaps we will speak again soon.
New outfit acquired. Oh. That's not what I expected out of that. But that means we need to have a new hair. Let's see. Let's go with... We'll go with that for now. So, the Masquerade, excuse me, the concept of the Masquerade is one of those conceit things, right? It doesn't really make sense, and the more you think about it, the less it makes sense. But that's okay, because it's the conceit. It's the part of the story, right? It's the part of the setting. You want... There's two sex shops right next to each other. It's two... You want the Masquerade to be this. That's the whole point, right? It just makes more sense than Prime. There's more sex places. Oh my god. It's like Sex Alley here. Again, I always like to use giant mechs in Battletech.
I need to find it.
Giant mechs make no sense, and the more you think about it, the less sense they make. But that's what you're here for. Right? You seriously not gonna let me do this? Wow, you really aren't. Okay, that's... There's actually a professional term for this, which I can't think of right now. But yeah, it's the core conceit, right? How do I go up? Okay, there it is. I see it, I see it. Hi. Stealth. What? Hold up. What? There we go. Okay. Hey! Okay, that's how it works. So, yeah, the idea here is that you get to pick one thing per row. So instead of mass manipulation, we get Earthshock. Okay. Oh god, I can't afford it? Okay, so for real. Can I literally not afford it? Wow. It costs 5 freaking mana. So, here's the thing. You could argue that one person seeing a Masquerade violation isn't going to be a big deal, and that's whatever, right? But there's actually a real-life conceit. Not a conceit, excuse me. It's math. I forget what it's called, but it's the number of conspiracy, which is the number of people it takes. The amount of effort it takes is exponentially increased the more people involved in a conspiracy in order to keep it quiet. And this is something that's been historically proven to be pretty true. We as human beings tend to believe conspiracy theories because we are pattern seekers, and we like things to make sense. So we look at something and we say, it's a conspiracy. No, it isn't. Like, 99 times out of 100, no, it isn't. Yeah, Watergate is a good example of an actual real conspiracy, which collapsed hysterically and very publicly. So that's in real life, right? In real life terms, you have something like the Masquerade, it's gonna burst. There is no way in hell it's going to stay quiet, especially since one of the things they really wanted with the setting was to set it in modern day, with things like television and phones and cameras. There's no way, right? There's no possible way for it to stay quiet. So that's the conceit, is that we all just accept that they have the power and the resources, and then maintaining that Masquerade is like the point, right? Yeah, we have satellite imagery, for God's sakes. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't actually think that's negative-worthy because of the same reason that giant bipedal mechs being the best weapon in the entire setting is not something I think is a negative to Battletech. It's the same reason I think that the nature of how the Force operates and hyperspace are not a negative to Star Wars. It's the conceit of the setting, right? It's one of those rare things which I am very unlikely to ever... Look at that. I'm rarely ever going to give a negative for something like that. It's because it's sort of the point of the work, right? To go back to where we were talking about with the sex appeal thing over in Third Birthday, if you sit down and you play Dead or Alive beach volleyball and then complain about the boobs bouncing all over the place, I don't know what else to add to that. That's what you're here for. It's right there on the tin, right? Literally the name of the setting is Vampire the Masquerade. Anyway, sorry. Derailment. I love these micro stutters. I need to restart the game during the lunch break. This game memory leaks like crazy. Whoops, didn't need to hit the body.
Barely a peep. That'll do it.
Guess I'm not even sneaking.
Shit, we're in the basement. Shit, me!
Did you so hard, you son of
I'll get nothing down.
Oh god, Dakota, that actually might make a degree of sense.
I'd be surprised if Willem's still around with these clowns here. Still, doesn't hurt to check.
think the first time I ever noticed jiggle physics, well, okay, was in Super Mario RPG, but let's ignore that for a second. Was in Neverwinter Nights 1. And it was because it was somewhat infamous for how silly it was that it was even there.
Huh. These switches look familiar. I can't place why. Don't reckon these are a normal part of the parking lot.
The voice in our head is Malkavian. Yeah, Erebeth. And the male armor on a female would jiggle underneath the armor. It was so minuscule and microscopic that you had to really go out of your way to even see that it was there. In fact, you could. The only time I ever saw it was actually in the editor. Because Neverwinter Nights 1 had a fantastic editor. Where's the fourth one? Is there a fourth one? That's some physics.
Yeah. Looks like no one's home.
There must be something here.
Nice
Make
haven.
a detective out of you yet.
Lots of, God, what are those called? Things you pose to put clothes on. I can't remember what those are called. Dummies? No. Mannequins, thank you.
Ah, so he's a bagger. Doesn't just drink from the vein. Looks like he sends ghouls to make pickups at Wake the Dead Cafe. I tried a blood bag once. Not my thing. Week old chill barbecue sauce mixed with ashes.
That sounds awful. What? What the hell was that? Huh?
Behind you.
Oh my gosh. There's an enemy out of absolutely nowhere. What? I mean, you probably don't remember this, Lord Garamond, but VTMB1 was a much better game until it got out of the, what was it, the Santa Monica area? The first zone. The moment it left the first zone, the quality of the game on both axes just kind of went down. The ending was very funny. Well, several of the endings are funny. So,
Keep your eyes peeled for Willem's ghoul. Maybe you can shake an address out of him.
when writing dialogue, what most people do is they jot down the intention of the dialogue before they actually polish it out into dialogue, into something that you would actually say. So, for example, let me try to come up with an example here. Of course I can't. Someone tell me a scene from a game that's actually good. Because for some reason I'm just blanking. Help me out, please. Anybody? I got nothing. I got nothing. Now everyone else is blanking too. No, we've been put on the spot. The opera in FF6. Okay. All right. That's okay. So let's ignore the opera and look at the lead up to the opera for just a second, okay? So there's a moment where we have to have a there's the planning scene, then there's the comedic scene, then there's the I'm too shy to do this, followed immediately by I'm going to try this, and then be embarrassed by trying this. And then, mwahaha, I'm going to jam up things. Nobody notices it. Comedy. Okay, that's the lead-up scene right as they're getting ready to practice for the opera. You remember that sequence? So, what I just described is the framework of the scene, right? So what most people do is they'll sit down and write the dialogue. And they'll have the people say, okay, so we've got to figure out a way to do this. We've got to... we've got to get Celeste to actually portray Maria, and she'll be up there and she'll sing the stuff. And then Maria says, "What? I can't possibly do that. I don't know anything about singing." And then she runs off. And then we cut to her and she's in there and she's like, "Maria." And then Locke laughs at it and says, "All right, come on, let's fix this." And Ultra says, "I'm going to cause you issues." And then leaves this letter. They don't see the letter, and then Ultra says, "Oh, come on, look at the letter." Now, what I just described, I know it sounds like I'm vaguely describing the scene, but what I'm just trying to convey is that I just lost internet. So for those of you on YouTube, hi, I just lost internet completely. It's the second time that's happened in 2 days. That's concerning. But anyways, to finish my sentence, what I just described is literally what people will write down on the page, and that's your first draft. You've probably heard me use the phrase first draft. First draft is a vague description of events and people saying things that are supposed to incline themselves towards what they mean or what the scene needs without any of the nuance of what dialogue actually is. That's why you go back and you have an editor go back through and you the writer, go back through and you polish it, right? And you polish it up into something better than just, "No, I can't do this." And so we get a line like, "I'm a general, not an opera floozy." But that's a line that received polish. That's not the most subtle line in the history of the known universe. I'm not trying to overpraise, but that's a line that sounds like dialogue. "I'm a general, not an opera floozy." You don't start with that. So the reason so much of the dialogue in this game sucks is pretty much the exact same reason that so much of the dialogue over in Starfield sucked. It's the exact same problem. This is all first-pass dialogue. None of this is stuff that sounds even remotely like something that a human being, you know what I mean, would actually say. Oh, looks like we might have reconnected. Might have internet back. No, we still don't have internet back. Well, let's go ahead and advance the cutscene here. This will be a YouTube-only cutscene. Oh, never mind. Looks like the internet just came back. Well, the Twitch connection just came back. Well, that was useless. Stutter, stutter. Stutter, stutter, stutter.
You're becoming quite the regular here, aren't you? Ah, Miss Yu was most appreciative. It is a terrible burden. The reviews are beyond compare, and yet I have never tasted a morsel of her work.
You have a pleasant night.
No, that really was just losing internet in the middle of my freaking sentence.
Fire! You're here. Did we agree to meet? I wasn't expecting... I mean, it's nice to see you, of course.
Where is Willem? Tell me.
Willem? You mean Willem Axel?
So you do know him?
Of course I do. I mean, everyone knows that I... It's just... Willem is a troubled soul. He can't hunt. Or at least, he refuses to.
So you bring him blood?
Yes. We may be what we are, but that doesn't mean we can't, you know, be better or try or... Nobody should be alone.
I still remember how it felt to care for others. That you remember it still? I commend you.
I knew it. I knew you'd understand.
Do you know where Willem is now?
That's kind of the problem. No one's heard from him, which isn't so unusual. But his ghoul hasn't picked up the package. And I guess I'd hoped Willem might show.
His haven was swarming with anarchs. Your Willem was nowhere to be found.
Oh, no, no, no. He's not like the others. He was never cut out for this. He must be so scared. Promise me you'll protect him, please. I mean, if you would be so gracious.
I assure you, I will.
Really? Thank you. It's only that I don't want to see him hurt.
Can you give me any clue to his whereabouts?
Willem won't be found unless he wants to be. I usually only ever meet his ghouls, but... Wait. The last one. Dust. There was dust on her jacket and a smell like industry, like chemicals, like... I knew I recognized it. The old plastic factory in the warehouse district. It's unpleasant. I try to avoid it.
Then that is where I will go.
Thank you, Thank you, Fire. And please, go easy on him. Willem is not strong.
So his ghoul never made it. That's not good. We should get to the factory, check it out. Make sure our secret keeper ain't in trouble.
So I actually finished my whole speech.
Sophia's helping out Willem. She's got sources lined up for the bags. Licks like Campbell or Fletcher would look right down on him for being a bagger. We're supposed to be predators, not scavengers, according to some. She's not like that. Even puts up to my chatter sometimes.
Mary, Mother of Christ!
Him. So I actually finished my whole speech, Arcanvale, off camera. Because obviously the recording was unaffected. So I won't give you the whole speech for fear of boring the YouTubers. But the summary is, what we're seeing is first pass dialogue. Dialogue that is intended to form a framework of a scene, but not actually sound like something people say. Now, here's the wonky part. I've noticed that in some individual scenes, some individual characters have second or third pass dialogue, where it actually sounds like someone sat down and went through and did the necessary second and third polishing passes in order to make it sound like actual dialogue. But only occasionally, and that inconsistency almost makes it worse.
Plastics factory. I wonder why Willem's picked this place to hole up.
Food, drink, whatever you can spare, please.
What's that? Curse you! Intruder!
Well, that killed a lot of them.
Trespasser!
expensive as hell, though.
Take this!
Let's start refilling a little bit.
Firing!
You shall bring me glory!
This is how we feed. Notice my blood points are going up the lower right there. Exactly, Arcanville. There's a lot of different ways to do dialogue, and there's a lot of different ways to convey information. Here's the really weird thing. As several people have pointed out, good dialogue writing sounds like people talking, but isn't realistic dialogue, if that makes sense. Anybody who's ever been a part of a conversation knows what I'm talking about, but most of us don't acknowledge it because most of us are so used to all those tiny little foibles of how we talk and the pauses for breath and considering words and misspeaking and stumbling over things and stuttering. And yeah, realistic dialogue isn't very good. So what you want is natural dialogue, natural sounding dialogue, to the point where you, the audience, don't notice anything. Like, that's the goal, is the dialogue should sound normal, so it doesn't sound too weird or too boring or too whatever.
We were attacking. Here!
Oh, those aren't people. They're mannequins! No! It's clearly a meta commentary on how I just see all people as mannequins as a vampire. And yeah, to use another example, sometimes dialogue is very deliberately written to be more theatrical, more dramatic, more over the top. And that's the point. But there's still good theatrical writing and bad theatrical writing, right? A lot of people usually refer to that as purple prose. But you get the concept. You probably didn't even notice I just stumbled right there because I changed my mind on what word I wanted to use mid-sentence.
All those hard cases outside and none here? Something's up.
That was a newspaper article about his death and how they had to call off the search for him.
About as tidy as my office.
I have to admit, I'm a sucker for good purple prose. But I also admit that good purple prose is arguably harder to write than, you know, normal dialogue. Just natural dialogue. Oh my god, look at that lighting. Look at how awful that is. Jesus Christ, look at that. Oh wow, that's just bad.
That music, that's a blast from the past. I'm sure I heard it way back.
Yeah, that's just, look at that. Look at that.
I don't like this.
Hang on a second. So, if I could read something out loud for just a second. This is actually not the section I wanted, but this will get across the idea. Nor at the time had it failed to enter his monomaniac mind that all the anguish of that then-present suffering was but the direct issue of a former woe, and he too plainly seemed to see that as the most poisonous reptile of the marsh perpetuates his kind as inevitably as the sweetest songster of the grove, so equally with every felicity all miserable events do naturally beget their like. That's good purple prose, in my opinion. And it gets Bragwin reminded me of it with what she just mentioned, because there's a lot of conveyance there, right? Other than simply saying, this is a direct result of what happened previously, and bad tends to lead to further bad. That's all it said. That was the information conveyed. But yeah, you get a little bit of the mindset. Simply the use of the word monomaniac is such a wonderful indicator of what's going on in this moment. Nor had it failed to enter his monomaniac mind that all the anguish of that then present suffering was but the direct issue of a former woe. I love that line. And it conveys. It conveys. That's the whole idea. As he too plainly seemed to see that as the most poisonous reptile of the marsh perpetuates his kind as inevitably as the sweetest songster of the grove, so equally with every felicity, all miserable events do naturally beget their like. That's good purple prose. Moby Dick, by the way, if you're wondering. One of the only books of that era that I actually really unironically enjoy. That I unironically enjoy. Probably tell you. There is a cadence to purple prose. If you're going to go that route with your writing, it needs to have a math to it. There needs to be a formula to it. I have, sir. Not in a while, though.
Before I could even finish this song. How cruel.
Am I interrupting?
Huh? It's you, the nomad.
Willem, I take it. You had some interesting guests outside. Expecting trouble?
That depends. Why are you here?
Tolly tells me you keep the court's secrets and its histories. Another kindred by the name of Isabella used this mark to sap my power. Do you know anything about it?
No. All I had to do was keep my head down for just a few more nights.
Ooh, there's a peck of guilt.
Is everything all right, Willem?
Well, why would you even ask me something like that?
Even my heart beat once. Something troubles you, and I would know what it is.
You did say that you would be kind. Why did you have to be kind? Now I have to do what he told me.
Oh, well now. Some kind of what? Teleportation? Nosferatu don't have that power. How? But more critically, why? Just what is he hiding?
Can I just take a moment to really savor?
He made the mark bleed. He knows how to use it against me. We have to find him.
Just to savor these brilliant sunlights. It's oh my god, this looks like PS1 graphics. I'm just gonna be blunt, and that is an insult. This is gross. Yeah, we're gonna do we're not doing a full review, Shadow Machine. We're doing something new as a bit of an experiment. The tryout. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I want to finish VTMB 2 first, though. I mean, older generation vampires can do pretty much whatever the hell they want to. But I'm not sure. So, interesting fact. I actually just double-checked this myself not too long ago, just to be sure. Most vampires, ironically, are not even aware mages exist.
I will die for my master.
Mages actually have an even better masquerade than the Masquerade. I find something about that very funny. Having said that, Tremere himself was one of the inventors of, I forget what it's called, but it's one of the mage houses. So hang on. Let me read this out loud right after I restart the bot. There we go. That's funny, Shadow Machine. Gandalf did not move, and in that very moment, away behind, in some courtyard of the city, a cock crowed. Shrill and clear he crowed, recking nothing... hang on, this is going to scroll up my screen. Recking nothing of wizardry or war, welcoming only the morning that in the sky, far above the shadows of death, was welcoming with the dawn. And, as if in answer, there came from far away another note. Horns, horns, horns. In dark Mendolian's sides they dimly echoed, great horns of the north, wildly blowing. Rohan had come at last. I can even guess the scene that's from. One of my favorite moments of the movie. I was recently accused of being in favor of the dumbing down of literacy and general critical comprehension, literary comprehension, because I prefer the Lord of the Rings movies over the books. How is this guy still alive?
This isn't teleportation. This is all hallucination, Fire. A dream. Some of my clan have this power, but how does Willem?
Stupid hat every time.
Heavens to Betsy.
Okay, I'll give you this. That's a nice effect. If you can't tell, that's the floor we're walking on up there. Like, they've mirrored it. It's mirrored vertically. God, it kind of does quite a... Yeah, this might actually be our first decent encounter in the entire game. It's a boss battle, but it's an interesting boss battle. Unlike everything else we've done so far that's a boss battle. You'll notice it still has the same format of every other boss battle. You hit them until their health goes down, then you have to feed on them, and you repeat that several times. But most of the time, that's just a punching fight.
Hey, it's me. Got a situation. Yeah, the nomad of all legs. Just a like you said.
We're in his head. Somehow. A maze of memories. His own house of cards. Reckon he's still playing with a full deck?
I still think it was best.
Look at the pillar of books. The upside down pillars of books.
She's all alone now. I wish I could touch her, see her smile just once. No, sure, she'd scream her lungs out, I know it. But I think she'd know, under all this. Oh, I dream on. They would never let me. Yeah, we used to dance. She loves to dance. I found a copy of our favorite song. I'll play it for you. I think you'd like it. If you ever met her, if you could. Yeah, I still think it was best. We both of So there was 172, Camp Force 180, that's all. Yeah, boss, I'm certain Camp Force paid on the second. My memory's better than it ever was. Distracted. It's just, it's Junior. With the war, he's... I know. Yeah, they're doing good. But I hear he's going out there. To Europe. I just want to... Can I see him, talk to him? I'm sorry, boss. I got it. So there's 172, Camp Force 180, that's all.
That was the Great War or World War II. Given the era, it could be either. A lot of this rotates around the 20s.
It is. I can hear it. She loves it. She's smiling, singing. I owe you so much for this. You think I can? I made a deal, but I just... This is hell. It's truly hell to be so close to her. I thought I was buying them safety, freedom, space for love and joy, and all she's got are ashes and a memory of a dance. And they tell me I've got power. Goddamn, I can't help her. They knew it was a lie, because everything fades. How could they? How dare they? It's a hell of a risk to you. Are you sure? There she is. She looks...
I'll be honest, I haven't really thought about it in Wolfenstein. The main plot, if you could even call that, has been kind of eyebrow-raising so far. In fact, I'm pretty sure we haven't even really interacted with the main plot yet, other than, you know, who put the mark on us. And I'm pretty sure that was Safia. Fossey or whatever stupid name is. The scientist lady.
I'm sorry, it's gonna be another late one. Yeah. Burning the midnight oil. Don't worry, I'll pay it, I promise. Just leave it for me. Can you put Junior on the phone? No, it's okay, don't wake him. Just tell him Daddy loves him. I love you too, with every part of me. I'm yours now and forever. Everything will be better. I promise. I got your word they'll always be looked after. With her. Okay. Let's do this. I'm sorry, it's gonna be another late one.
But he accepted it willingly in order to secure their future. Cute. Yeah, fiction is in love with this idea that immortality is a curse. I'm not really sure where that comes from exactly. Like, obviously, there's a... acceptance of death is a prevalent theme in fiction because life. But I'm not sure where that really started. Like, what got the ball rolling on immortality sucks.
No use putting it off. I gotta do this.
That's a suicide vest. A bomb. Connected to the phone.
You woke up. But how? I had you under, It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Talk him down, now. Fast.
Willem, listen. I can help you, but I need you to calm down. Then we can talk. Kindred to kindred.
Oh, I want to so bad. I want to so bad. But it's not up to me. They said I could see my family again. They said if I cut off the cord, if I took away their little black book, all their secrets, it would cause the chaos he needed to strike, and I'd be free.
Who is this he?
The Malkavian. The gardener.
The gardener? Huh.
But now you got the truth. You know what that means, right?
You're losing him.
There is hope still for what was promised to you. I have powerful connections and influence. I could help you see your family, if you leave with me.
You don't understand. They're listening.
He was on a call the whole time.
Willem.
I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. Oh no.
It's okay, we have super speed. Loading screen.
Shit, he's gonna... Oh! I wonder if I made it. There could be a worse afterlife. I kind of like the flowers.
Ambrosial tears that crave those lips.
I'd like it more without the existing tenant.
A spit of solace for the heart.
I know you now. You're the gardener. Willem's boss.
You must bring the elder to me. We must meet. And we must meet. And we must kiss.
Rose.
I have such a quenching for their desiccation.
Oh, I get it. You have the hots for fire. You want me to introduce you? Is that right?
Such a draught of essence for their drought.
Oh, look, can we just talk straight, fella?
I need a plan.
You blew up Willem and you don't have a plan?
I need a plan.
I need a plan, mon Dieu. Not an idea, not an excuse, not a series of threats. A plan. This piece of shit is running rings around you. One man.
He's killing mortals, boss. Just mortals, that's all.
No, that's not all. He is leaving us messages, each one crafted to mark us, to remind us of our failures. Mark my words, this will not stop with mortals. Well, what have you got?
Fabian's been looking into it.
And?
This is for effect, Chief. All these murders are carefully staged, just like they were back in the day. And this is someone who's got time, right? Time to place a fresh corpse, to pose it just so.
Why? What's the goddamn point? Why wouldn't they come straight at us, take the advantage?
To remind us of something. This is tied to those first murders, depend upon that. The killer's trying to slap us in the face with something that happened way back when. But what? Now that's the question.
I think we can agree he's playing games. You shut him down, and you do it quickly. Anything else?
Well, Chief, I've been piecing together old cases and new. Santiago was active here in Seattle in the 1920s, and a couple of decades before that in New Orleans, in LA. So how can he be here? He'd be an old man by now.
Your conclusion?
Well, even if he'd killed in the cradle, he'd still be more than 100 now. Not the same guy. Gotta be a copycat. And someone who really knows our history.
Agreed. This cannot be the original killer. So who is it, and what are they trying to do? Well?
Knock, knock.
What?
Don't want to cause you any trouble, my prince. Detective, I was looking for the sheriff here.
Well? Spit it out, you mongrel.
Just thought you should know, Sheriff. We got another one.
Another...
Murder, Sheriff. Another murder on your watch while you chase your tail.
Tolly details now.
Little apartment just off Pioneer Square. Word's gone out to the PD already, would you believe?
Well, Sheriff?
Fuck. I'll deal with the PD. Fabian, get down there. Take a look.
Sheriff Benny knew best, of course. I should head straight down to Pioneer Square. And not dawdle and say, chat to Sophia to see if she'd heard anything.
Okay, so this feels like the start of a whole new section, and we're almost at the lunch break, so I'm going to go ahead and pause.
I figured Sophia would be in.
Here. I'll be back after lunch.